and welcome to our Dishonored TTRPG. I don't know what episode this is. I'm going to take a guess and say 13.
Pretty sure
With
it's
me
12.
today, it might be 12, but I fucked up the episodes in the back and I haven't been publishing them right, so I don't know what fucking episode we're on.
Oh, God.
With me today, I have the entire cast, and I will hand it over to Umbra for our recap. Go ahead.
This is truly the high chaos ending. So what happened last time was we had our big boss fight against local Tivian loser. I forget his name, Vadim or something.
Vigo
Uh
Watson?
Vigo. So forgettable, can't remember his name, Vigo
Oh
Watson.
my god.
Such a loser, can't even be remembered when he turns into a giant robot. We fought Vigo Watson's automaton form, thankfully stopping him before he reached the university and could absorb the power of the tree. We got to use all of our super abilities. Ambrose got to be one with his god. Same with Molly, got a lot of help from the outsider. Volcan was just Volcaning, and I got to shoot shit. It was great. After that, we managed to petrify the robot, and we were granted our elite low chaos boons because we were able to save everybody from the university. And other than some revelations for Ambrose, I think that's about it.
We met
Yep.
someone. The witch.
Oh,
The
Cassandra
witch,
Knight. How
yes,
could we
we
forget?
met.
Yep.
Yes, of
She
course.
actually
Remembered.
she
other
dropped some
witch.
big time hints. Cassandra Knight, the second wind down witch, the master of curses, revealed to Lillian in no uncertain terms that her soul was held by a god that is older than the
Yes,
outsider,
I have
that
read this.
has the power of seeming sunlight, revealing truly the stakes that the game is taking place at.
Thank God I got a beer for this. But it will not be my arc
Then
next, so
trying to think.
spoilers, audience.
Time's
Lily.
going to compress a little bit. And the following days after the conflict, we don't need to go into details of them. You all wrap up your business in Morlaix. You helped the best you can after everything that's happened. And it seems like the Morlians are more than capable of seeing to themselves. Eventually, other Morlians from other cities, who have for good reason stayed out of Winddown, would approach and ask a pretty open question of what the fuck. The last most important thing that happens before you set sail is Cassandra and Dawn have to make another royal lineage. The one that has been maintaining Morlaix for thousands of years got fucking massacred without so much as a bastard to carry on the title. So they did as they do. And they do as they did so many years ago, and they choose two people for reasons that only they can really know with their witchy insights to lead Morlaix. And these individuals, who may have well just started as peasants, as commoners, are now being elevated to a position of royalty. This is accepted with some tribulation, as it's really weird to have your government be determined by two witches. But after they explain that they've done it before, that they are in large part a part of defeating Vigo Watson, and that Morley doesn't have a choice, they eventually relent and accept these two people crowned king and queen.
Sounds like a sound argument to me.
Yeah.
You don't have a
That just
choice.
sounds like politics. That's just how mafia works.
Yeah.
That's how mafia works.
Eventually, you would set off with the Her Majesty's Third Royal Navy in your badass submarine, the last piece of the Watson technology that exists. It's like a 2 or 3 week journey to get back. So all that time gets compressed. You're all having fun on the boat. I'm sure it's a sweet life on deck.
Lily may have gotten drunk and fallen off at least once. Even though she can't be affected by poison, she was just having a good time with it and fell off.
And
course.
you are all summoned to the Empress's throne to probably give a debrief and to see what comes next. But while we see the submarine enter the water space of the royal palace, we see it come up in like a little skiff get prepared as the party begins to enter it, going with intention to rise up the water gate as you had done in the first episode of this game. The camera flies past all of this. It sees all the industrial docks, the whaling ships, most of which empty, the warehouses that they're going to, some of which abandoned, and it finds a much more civilian ship, a merchant ship that is one of the first few to have left Morlaix to carry whoever might want to leave that island for who knows why. It's here that the camera slowly zooms in on the gangplank right before it is lowered. There is a large mass of people of all different standings, some of them clearly noble, some of them clearly not, just able to pay their way. They're pushing and shoving, excited to get off the ship. It's been a very long voyage, and the camera has to dodge their heads as they're pushing and shoving, and it finds someone in the middle. It finds a man. It finds Charles. What does Charles look like, little man?
Well, Charles appears to be a middle-aged man, probably standing around 6 foot. His hair is a black color, similar to that of the Corvian people, although it's definitely beginning to gray, maybe a bit early for his age. Classic amber eyes, and a little bit of scruffy facial hair.
And how is he dressed?
Honestly, if he was a homeless man, you'd believe it.
Yeah.
His clothes have definitely seen way better days. Maybe if you look at it closely enough, you can see a semblance of what might have once been a noble garb, but now it's just kind of reduced to rags. It looks like it's been half-ass patchworked with leather strips in like places where it's torn as well. So it doesn't look expensive, to say the least.
And like everyone else, he is eagerly awaiting the gangplank to get lowered, like peeking over shoulders, trying himself to push the front, to no avail. And he hears beside him, "How long did it take you to fuck this up again?" And turning over, perhaps maybe not even turning over to the voice which he is familiar with, the camera follows. It sees the madman. What does the madman look like?
I mean, chaos. Like, his clothes are different, like, parts of highly, like, very visible colors. Bright pinks, purple, yellow, green. Definitely has the classic Mad Hatter hat on.
Tilted to a side.
100%. There's no rhyme or reason to this fashion sense. Definitely something an insane person would wear. An insane person who probably is, like, big into theater is a good way to put it.
Mhm.
And I would imagine his actual appearance is kind of like a pretty unkempt looking man that maybe tries to look fancy, but their fashion sense isn't helping them.
As he's standing next to you, it seems like everyone else doesn't notice he's there, or rather to say, he doesn't seem out of place, as people are like mobbing around him, unaware that he's standing there, and no one occupies his space. And he looks back at you and he says, "What? You're not willing to make a bet? Come on, I give you no 2 steps."
I just got out of a goddamn city that was getting attacked by giant fucking robots. I don't need this right now.
And How are we sure you weren't the reason for that?
What? Did you do it?
Did you?
I'm not having this shit. I want to drink.
Little does Dunwall know, a catastrophe has come to its shores. Beware all! He like shouts out to everyone who doesn't pay attention to him.
He like a parent done with their child. And he's like has to take a deep breath to control himself so he doesn't cause a scene, and just like walks forward ready to appease his vices.
As
after
you
that ordeal.
the gangplank like thuds and people start getting ushered out by like some crewmen, and you hear behind you and says, you hear a rather loud voice of a man that you met yesterday below deck. You well, you played a game of cards with him, and you couldn't quite put your money where your mouth was. You could say that you owe him something, but you've been thankfully able to dodge him for the few hours that were left in the voyage. You hear him say, hey, Achilles, don't you walk the fuck off and get over here! You owe me 30 coin!
I like look around like he's talking to someone else, and I just pretend I don't hear him.
People
He's
begin to
definitely,
usher
walking
off.
faster through the crowd. He's like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's pushing people aside to try to get the fuck out of my way. Give me that little rat. Eventually, you're able to like scurry off the gangplank as they're in pursuit, as the crowd of people is preventing them from being able to get to you quickly. And you touch down onto the dock, hurrying your way away. And as you make it to the like proper off the wooden dock and onto the ground of Dunwall proper, you take a single step, and then there's a loud sound of shattering, glass shattering.
Wow.
And it seems like everyone around you like catches, like grabs their ears and like ducks. Some people like scream as everyone looks around to see what that was. You can see at the end of like this dock road, there is this strange silvery purple fissure floating in mid-space. And from the center, it begins to expand out almost like an eye, like a rift. And crawling out from it is this claw that grabs at the side of the portal and pulls itself through this massive amphibian-looking monstrosity with this strange, like humanoid arms and visage at the top, mixed in with like this disgusting frog-like appearance. It like steps out and it roars in this strange kind of rhythmic ribbit. People run. People scream. People fucking panic. And as one comes out, so too does another, and another, each smaller than the last, but each an abominable creature, many still bigger than a man. As people are running by you, you can see the madman puts his hands in his pockets and he looks down and is like, well, I've got to give you credit, Charlie. That was like 7 steps.
I'm amazed that that's technically a record.
So am I. We should run.
He's already running.
You are running, but little man, as you run and you like look behind you, see if they're catching up with you. You see some woman that was similarly probably just got off the boat, same as you, gets grabbed by this massive frog tongue around the midsection, and is like grabs onto a light pole to try and stop herself from being, consumed by the frog. You can see many other of the smaller ones are jumping on people, clawing at them. It is clear that people are going to die here. Do you run?
Are there any children?
On a dock in Dunwall?
Like, I imagine there'd be like refugees from Morley.
Yeah, definitely. There'll have to be some children, some like dirty peasant children.
Bro,
Fuck, yeah.
I gotta say it like that.
Because they are.
Yeah, bit racist there, buddy.
That was literally me. That was literally me, Bamboy.
Yeah, how could you say that with Lizz right here?
Dude, right in front of my fucking dock.
Really?
character
In front of my
sheet, really?
attendees?
It seems like, though, there are children at jeopardy.
He's like, he definitely first instinct, he starts booking it. As he turns his head to get a glimpse of what's going on, he definitely sees what's going on. And he notices like children about to die, probably like a mother getting torn away from their kids and whatnot. And he like he like stops running and has to like think for a second as like he's really fighting between running still. And then he just like he clenches his fist and he just says, "Okay, fine." And he whips out his mask and he puts it on so no one fucking knows it's him. And he turns around and in like a nervous fucking sprint, he runs back to go help.
You and a couple other brave men wielding pipes, mostly improvised weapon, a fucking a chopping knife that they were using to cut up a fish. They stand no chance as they're desperately trying to fight out these things, these creatures from the void that are so much stronger than they could ever be. But among them, little do they realize, is Charlie. What do you do?
Name's Charles. Ain't no chocolate factory, Bamboy. But he's not a fighter. The only weapon he has is a makeshift, really old fucking guardsman shield that he probably found in the trash, which isn't very effective at bashing things, especially how weak he is. So instead, he clenches his fists, and then these almost dark purplish flames start to form in them as he unleashes his maddening flames power to fucking bounce kind of like chain lightning but with fire as he uses his level 5 maddening flames to try and take out as many as he can at once.
There's a massive eruption of this heat and light as everyone screams again. The sounds of the void creatures cooking in their own thin, very watery skin can be heard. The big one, the whatever chieftain leads the rest of this pack, is who gets the worst of it. And as the flaming torrent of flamethrower emerges from you, we can see like to your side with now these goggles that he did, welding goggles he didn't have before, is the Mad Hatter, just looking at the torrent of flame with like a nod, like a rapid nod. And when the fire finally subsides and there's like this steam coming from your hand, you look up and you can see the biggest of them, like its entire front body has been melted. It's like pouring off from itself, and all that remains is underneath is the black bone of it, and it like gurgles a couple times and spits up before it falls over dead. And it seems like all the other void creatures react to this. Some of them try and jump back into the void, the portal. It's closing, and you can see one gets bisected as they take the chance and jump into it right as it closes, cutting them in half. The other ones panic. Some of them jump into the water, never to be seen again. Other ones, perhaps fueled by spite, continue their torrent. And as you go to like charge up another blast to like get one of these small like monkey-sized amphibian things off the it was the brute that was chasing you. He's like wrestling one in his arms. He's on the ground, and you go to like blast him. There's this strange dissonant sound you hear behind you, almost like nails on a chalkboard. Mixed in with like this kind of rusting metallic sound, and it immediately makes your ears hurt, ring in a painful way. Perhaps the only thing that good to come of this is as soon as you are affected by this, the madman right next to you falls to his knees and starts to shriek in this shrill, like pathetic.
Charles is also on his knees at this point. He's a big bitch, and he put his hands up to his ears, and he's like half screaming himself, but he like looks at the bad man. You bastard! Finally got what you deserved.
You did this. You earned it. He like disappears. It like turns into like this ephemeral like smoke that gets caught in the fucking ocean wind. And then as you're saying that, the next thing you feel is the two prongs of a cold metal object placed to the back of your throat, and then an electric shock that courses through your entire body.
That definitely fucking no idea what's going on. He's like, what the fuck?
And as they're like throwing cuffs onto you, you can see the masks of overseers like talking amongst themselves quickly. There's like four of them handling you, and one with a music box, just walking up to the void creatures. They say like, he's marked. He's got to be the source of this. Bring him back to Alexander.
These goddamn bastards.
Cut the title sequence. Theme music plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We look up in the sky and it says Dishonored.
He's like foaming from the
Dishonored
mouth on
in
the
the
floor and then
Empire.
just cuts up.
You'd be
Dishonored.
dragged.
Yeah.
Blink 182 starts playing.
Next, we are in the throne room. Emily is holding court, and that means that anything that needs her attention gets it now. The first thing is, because he was just maybe a half an hour ahead of you, Charles is dragged before the Empress. And as just as Alexander, who is dragging you from the scruff, you are shackled by your feet and your hands, and there's a man next to Alexander with a music box, not playing it, but prepared. You are brought to in front of the Empress, who is sitting on the mighty throne, in front of the long carpet, and behind you, interrupting right before it could even start, your trial could start, is the massive door leading to the throne room opening again, and out coming from it is, wait, you've seen these guys before.
God
It's
damn
the
it.
party, the brigade. That's Ambrose Satano, the royal protector. That's Volcan. Now that you see it, you've heard of his names, you've seen his mask
Fuck, I
before.
haven't seen him in years.
One of them you don't recognize. Lady Kaldwin is a mystery to you. Molly
Kinda
is,
hot.
of course, probably also someone you would recognize, seeing as how you were in Morley in a lot, in a great deal of
mean-
time.
An imaginary jester.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I remember I got slammed at one of her performances and woke up in a ditch the next day.
Missing a kidney.
Alexander looks to you all and he nods and he says, "One moment, please. We have a criminal to try here." And he turns back to Emily. The only person that doesn't stop is Ambrose. Ambrose doesn't give a fuck what Alexander says, and he walks right by him to stand next to the Empress,
Sounds about right.
where he silently observes. And there's they whisper a greeting to each other, and then Emily goes out to extend her hand to Ambrose. And then Emily turns her attention back to the trial. Charles, are you standing?
He's on his knees, but propped upwards.
Okay, that's good. That seems to satisfy the necessary etiquette of the space. And Alexander just says, "My fair lady Empress, this is the most wanted man in Zirconos, brought to our docks for reasons unknown. This man goes by the Catastrophe, a name fitting for his mark left on the world. And he is marked, I assume." "Yes, ma'am. By an entity which is not in my lexicon, a mystery to me. And that also means that his powers are as well." What do you have to say for yourself, Charles?
There's nothing I need to say except this. We both know, no cell can hold me for long. If you let me go, I will spare everyone in this palace. Consider it a mercy.
I believe, ma'am, that he is right. Without the understanding of where his powers come from and what they are capable of doing, we are at a loss for what could be done to contain this man. We had previously seen him call upon a horde of abyssal entities brought through a portal to our fair shores. It is because of this that, in my professional opinion, I recommend that we execute this man.
Hey, Bamboy.
Yeah.
I think at this moment, Volcan might clear his throat, a hem, try to get a little attention. He's like, that voice sounds familiar. You said his name was Charles, correct?
All eyes move to Charles to see what he does next.
He definitely perks up a bit, and then he's maybe a bit distracted from what was just said. He looks behind him. His eyes widen. He looks back, puts his face back on, chooses to ignore Volcan.
Charles, I know that's you.
Uh,
Charles, come on. From
I thought you would say wait, did you say execution? Like death?
Yes, and he draws a pistol and he puts it to the back of your
Wait,
head.
wait. We can talk about this. All right, listen, I'm lying. I'm not actually the catastrophe, okay? I just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Come on, you gotta trust me, please.
You are absolutely a catastrophe. Hold on,
No,
Alexander.
it's his fault. I look to like open air next to me.
Everyone looks over. Even the
Do
madman
anything.
isn't there at this moment.
no, I like to imagine he is there and he's also looking over.
He's like, yeah, actually, that's really funny. He shows up like spontaneously and he's like looking behind him, like, "Do you mean me?" Which no one else can see him, of course.
Yeah.
He like looks down and he says, "Charlie, I don't think that's much of a criminal defense."
Listen. Okay, listen, you might not be able to see him, but I can see him, and he fucks with me all the time. It's his fault. I'm just going about my day, and then sometimes an explosion happens, sometimes people die, sometimes there's a robbery, and I just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time every single time. I know it's a little bit unlikely, but you gotta trust me. Come on, I mean, I'm not a criminal. Look at me. Look at my baby face.
Calm down. Perhaps there's something that we can negotiate. Tell me your last name.
Well, it's Achilles, you know, the famous Achilles elixir makers, you know, the world renowned, help the greats, Silklav, Piero. You know who they are.
Alexander continues, famous for their treachery and subterfuge.
That was all allegation, okay? It was never proved in a court of law.
He's silenced by that. And Emily, for a moment, she does the like regal, like hold silence, and like while considering it, and Ambrose would like lean over and she would seek his advisement. And for a few moments, they speak in whispered, hushed tones. And then Emily nods and turns back. Well, it seems as if holding you would be very dangerous, and executing you would be very easy. So I think that you can be controlled, and perhaps you can be an asset to our great nation, and maybe even cleanse your name.
Will I live if I do that?
Well, that's entirely up to you, your comrades, and what you fight. You see, I don't know if you noticed, but some months ago a second moon came about. And ever since then, there has been a great uptick of supernatural phenomenon. A horrible tragedy in Morlaix you'll soon hear about, I'm sure.
Oh, I was there. I know about it. I know what happened.
Oh, then perhaps the context and information you have would be all the more boon to us. As it has been explained to me, the Brigade of Supernatural Enforcers, the Marked, she gestures to everyone else standing behind you, is going to be a member down.
Slowly turns.
My sweet Ambrose will be staying by my side, and this means that they need a replacement, a fourth. And it is not every day that a Marked is captured and put in such a position to where I can extort them for my own gains. So, I think we can turn this into an opportunity.
Those guys, right?
Yes.
You see Lily like twiddle her fingers like in a wave.
Yes.
The mask
I
doesn't
trust them
betray
all.
anything.
They are all trusted allies of the throne who have proven their valor and their loyalty. Yes, and so soon you will be. And if you prove not to be, I have the full confidence that they will kill you.
You can't see it like under the mask, but upon like her saying that they've proven their loyalty, Volcan's eyebrow just kind of like raises up.
What? I mean, I don't mean to be rude, Your Highness, but I you know, these guys. I mean, I'm not gonna start anything, but on my first day at the job as an Abbey man, they hung me to a ceiling next to a corpse.
What?
Yeah, and then when I finally got out and fled to Morlaix, all of a sudden they jump my train that's being transported like a prison transport. And then they're telling me to like stay calm and shit. And then on our way out, we crash into the university and I slam into the front, breaking multiple bones.
No,
I
genuinely,
feel like they're out to get me.
I'm honestly a little surprised I didn't recognize you those times.
I was keeping my head down, buddy.
So then you know each other.
Maybe.
We.
Oh, wonderful. All the better for cohesion. I see it pointless to threaten you any longer. I'm sure you understand the severity of what you're accused of and the rarity of the chance given for you to prove that the allegations are just that. Then, you'll be drafted into my Royal Brigade. I suggest you go meet with your allies.
I want to look at Alexander. Well, what is his face?
Alexander seems like perturbed, and he like looks back and he's like, Empress, at some point, allying yourself with obvious criminals is going to backfire. Yes, I know, of course, and that's why you're here. That's why I make sure that there are precautions for that.
Yeah, she knows. I'm not a
course.
criminal either, right? She knows what she's doing, man. Come on, we can be friends.
I don't know how you made it into my abbey.
I think the guy who interviewed me was drunk that day, and he didn't care.
I will take his name in exchange for a modicum of forgiveness to you.
Don't do it.
Sounds fair. His name's James.
There are something like 40 James in my Prime Spire alone. Did he have a last name or an initial?
I'm pretty sure it was F.
All right. Fredrickson. You will be hearing of me.
Yeah,
He's
sounds
got
good to
the
me.
whole
You gotta,
roster.
yeah, you gotta take that job seriously. I mean, how let someone like me in?
Like stares down at you as you're trying to like fawn over him.
So I should
He would.
meet the team, right? I
Is
mean,
he? I want to check if he's lying. That would be so funny if we could figure out whether he's lying to him or not.
He undoes your cuffs at the feet and at the hands, and he would just gesture for you to walk over to the brigade.
you won't regret this. Trust me. I'm not a bad guy. There's a bad guy attached to me.
He stares at
And
you
I
as you're
walk over.
walking, and he looks over to Volcan and is like, "He's your problem now."
Yeah, it's nothing new.
So, not to interrupt the scene, but I was left out of the loop on this. Is the little man changing his character?
Oh yeah. Oh, I suppose that's worth saying also for the audience. Yeah, Little Man's changing his character. Ambrose is staying next to Emily for the continuation of this narrative.
Yeah, because like I was never informed of any of this, and so
I guess that was just
I picked
something
up
that
on it very
slipped through the
quickly.
cracks. Hmm.
But it's like, okay,
Sorry about that.
no, it's all good. I just didn't want to interrupt the scene with my question, and also telling the audience would probably also be a relevant thing to tell.
Yeah, I'm trying
They'll-
to do the
they'll figure it
arcane where I
out.
just use context clues to paint it rather than just directly tell them, because Arcane Season 2 really got me inspired. But, also, it's important to be clear.
Listen, our audience is obviously very, very intelligent, but there are some people who might slip through the cracks, who might not be able to understand context clues.
And they are thanking you very much right now, Umbra.
Exactly. I am for the common man.
Thank you. Doing the job that no one asked. Thank you.
I'll take
Truly
any
a hero.
donations to my Patreon.
Yeah.
My SoundCloud's in bio. Oh man, my voice muted. Damn it.
Well, kid or
I'm just
guy.
smoking weed. You won't roleplay.
Well, guy, you're in one hell of a ride.
Yeah.
Bonjour, Charlie. It's
Sorry, go
been a minute. You look worse.
It's a living.
I'm just like looks you up and down. Sure.
Yeah, no, new clothes too expensive. Don't worry about it. So, how's everyone doing? I guess we're working together. I know I was here because I'm like supposedly a criminal or something, but listen, between you and me, I'm not really a criminal. I kind of just am at the place of the crime almost every single time accidentally, and then
Oh,
that's how
sure.
I became the
Oh,
criminal.
of course, me too, Jody.
No, but like that's actually what happened for me.
Yes, we are the same.
Trust me, you wouldn't believe the chances of some of the things that happened. But I'm actually I'm a good guy. I'm not that bad a person. I can help out. I mean, I know how to make elixirs. My family were quite famous after all, and I mean, I dabble in a little bit of making those little weird little bone trinket thingies. I think they're called bone charms.
Mm.
As long as you guys don't kill me, I think we can get along.
See Lily perk up at the bone charm mentioning.
Yeah.
Well, we can't kill you without reason, but as long as you don't give us a reason, I think
Of
we'll
course.
work out.
We
Yeah.
should be fine.
I would never give someone a reason to kill me on purpose, at least. Although
Yeah, me
it's
too.
happened accidentally quite a lot.
So there was a incident that happened?
A couple. 100, maybe.
Oh.
It's all in the past. It wasn't me. Some random frogs appeared in this place, weird monsters, and I was heroically, by the way, saving some poor family when the Abbey man apprehended me, thinking I was the one who was causing harm. Unlawfully, I might add.
See Alexander not even acknowledge him anymore.
Yeah.
Probably walking away, all pissed. I wanted
Walking up to
him
the
to
Empress
be
to eat dirt.
hanged.
You see Lily just kind of staring at Charles for a second. Because, it's not often that she's had to work with criminals. She's had to work with criminals, don't get me wrong. But not the kind that just claim to be fumbling idiots. And so she doesn't know how to process fumbling idiot and the reputation that he has. Because Volcan is easy. Volcan is just a criminal mastermind. Molly is just a really good thief. But Charles,
He's the enigma.
he is the enigma. He is the enigma machine.
He's a fucking accident.
He's an accident-prone criminal. He's a much more fumbling Joker.
Speaking out loud to the provocation of nobody, the madman right next to you just says, "He's an absolute catastrophe."
And I don't think we could hear him, right?
No.
Charles visibly winces a bit though, like he's holding back some incredibly horrible insult. Okay, say, how's everyone doing? Should we trade names? I mean, we're gonna work together. We better get to know each other. I mean, I've never held a job for longer than a week at this point, but I feel like I'm getting lucky with this one.
My dear, you found the most unlucky of jobs to get.
Sounds about right, honestly.
So who wants to go first?
Well,
Well,
I'm you want to go first?
I was going to say we already know each other, so you two may go ahead.
Okay.
Miss Molly.
Well, I am the imaginary Jester. But most people call me Molly.
Yeah. I think I've been to some of your performances before. Although you gotta forgive me, it's all kind of a little fuzzy. I'm usually blackface drunk whenever I go to an event.
Oh, don't worry. Most people are.
Yeah.
This one is fun,
I'm usually the one
Charlie.
who wakes up in a ditch the next day, but sacrifices.
You want this one as an ally, and I very much want them as an audience. They carry a dead god, and I find that quite funny.
I could stab myself in the eye and you'd find it funny.
I would.
What
It
was
would
that?
be hilarious. You should do it now.
What? Huh?
Do it.
No, don't worry, not talking to you. Carry on.
Molly tilts her head. She's getting suspicious.
Well, barring that, I am Miss Lillian Kaldwin. You can call me Lily.
Like, I look behind me to the Empress. Like that,
Like,
Kaldwin?
yes. Like that Kaldwin. I am a generation above her.
So, like a mother?
Aunt.
Oh. Looks you up and down.
And like you can't tell because she's wearing her royal mask that she wears every time she walks in. So like it's
Yeah.
not too obvious, but like the exposed mouth is definitely younger than what an aunt of Emily ought to be.
Huh.
Now this one is old, and like the madman like walks behind Lily without her being able to see. And bright, she carries secrets older than any of us, even older than
Really?
her.
For no reason at all, Lily. Do you want to, like, stand 5 feet to the right? No particular reason.
You see Lily like hesitate for a second, like not noticeably, just like she doesn't move for a second, and then she does move a little bit to the right.
All right, that's good. That's good. I didn't know the Empress had an aunt. Nice to meet you.
Yes, well, we'll be getting to know each other quite well by the end of this.
Of course, of course.
You see,
Yes,
like,
and I would be interested to find out what you've been up to since the last time I've seen you.
Same old, same old. Nothing you should worry about.
That's sketchy as shit, but okay. I'm used to it.
Don't worry about it. All right.
the criminal who's not a criminal, who's just a bumbling idiot. Totally not a criminal, totally.
So where you from?
I am from the lovely Isle of Serkonos originally. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. I'm quite the traveler. No particular reason why I haven't gone back. Truth be told, I really love the travel.
Family drama.
Ah, no, family's great, great. Totally not. And strange.
You
but
know,
we're
I like to
fine.
travel too, but you know, you should always travel back home. You don't know what ends up happening. Things about Morley.
It's fine. I send letters every now and then.
For money.
No. Maybe a couple times, but
Damn,
no.
Charlie. They fucking got you good.
Well,
The only thing they
anyways,
got is a history. What was that?
we should probably get you cleaned up.
Maybe some proper clothes.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, I
try.
think the guards will try to kick you out if you're
I
not
have some
clean.
lovely armor I get to refit you for. You're gonna get really acquainted with me.
Can it protect me from bullets, gunshots, banana peels, and falling debris?
I can protect you from 2 of those things.
I'll
Does not-
take
Nothing
50%.
protects you from banana peels, and you know it.
Okay. So let's get this bread.
And with that said, the Empress would say, "Brigade, please, may I have your attention for a moment?" It seems like Alexander, Ambrose, and Emily have spoken enough about what had happened. Thankfully, they did the debrief so that you didn't have to. And Emily says, "I believe that our suspicions for what could be happening have been confirmed. There is an organized effort of individuals spanning the Isles that are targeting rulers of the individual Isles. Myself, the Queen and King of Morley, this is no coincidence. And I will be sending messages, warnings, to the rest of the Tivian representatives, many they may be, and of course, the young Duke of Serkonos. But that message, I would very much like for you to carry. We have the knowledge now to be proactive in this war. So I'm sending you to Serkonos in Ambrose. When can we have a boat ready? 3 days' time. Until given shore leave, you have earned it.
You see
Charles raises his hand.
Yes, go ahead. That's very polite of you.
So, like these Circonos, right?
Yes, the jewel of the
That
south.
place?
Yes,
Are you sure?
the emerald, the emerald of the isles. Yes, quite certain. Karnaka specifically.
100%. And I have to go?
Yes.
Is that a
That is all.
problem, Mr. Charles?
No. It's fine. It's just, like she
Said you
said,
had
it's nice to get home every once in a while.
Lily is
With
like,
this
she's ready. She's ready to break this dude's balls the moment they get to Synchronos. And he gets to watch everything burn to the ground around him.
With this detachment, I cannot offer you any royal fleet, as it is not a befitting circumstance, and I don't think the Circonians would like if we embargo them for no reason. But I will send with you my most viable and capable advisors, the spy master, of course, who has been great boon in this investigation, will be all the more necessary now that Ambrose is residing with me. Alexander, would you like to? No. Okay, then. Alexander will remain. But the royal physician and engineer, Dr. Polomew, of course, who I believe is in great part running the ship you'll be taking, the submarine is yours after all, will be going with you. This is who I can spare.
Probably not.
Then I guess we should go prepare.
Yes,
Okay.
consider yourself all dismissed, but my court is over and I will be retiring to luxury. I suppose you may join me. I'm just going to be going somewhere. A restaurant, I think. It is a nice evening for such. But I understand if you have more important things to do.
Lady Kaldwin, can I have a private word before?
Of course, yes. Let us. And she would break hands with Ambrose only now, as she would gesture for you to come with her as she takes a step to the side.
Right, and you see Lily kind of step to the side, and she's got the kind of like regal, like this is just business kind of attitude. But the moment she gets near Lily, it all falls away, or Emily, it just falls all away. And she's like, I don't know
What's
how
the matter?
heavily you were debriefed.
Only so much as what Alexander, Ambrose, and the spy master could tell me, but I figured that was most things. Do you have something to tell me more?
Well, one of the people we believe to be the conspirators might be from an incident, a famous family incident involving me.
Do go on.
So, Ambrose might have told you, I don't know, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to reiterate
He was,
it.
he was very respectful. He told me that there may be something more you would care to discuss, but left it at your own discretion. He's very kind like that.
Yes, Ambrose is wonderful. We all love him very much. I'm going to kick him in the balls later. So, um, during the course of our investigation, we came across a picture of the conspirators, as you probably are aware, a silvergraph.
Yes.
And one of those conspirators was from a Pandician expedition. My Pandician expedition.
I his mother did not speak much of this.
No, and I didn't really fill you in either.
Do go on.
So do you remember Anton? You remember?
Of course.
physician
Sokolov
scientist?
had a lot to do with my early troubles.
Yes. Well, alongside him were me and a handful of sailors and researchers and thrill seekers. And you see her like sigh at thrill seekers because she feels bad she was one of them. And she's like, and along the way was a good friend of mine who we can call Magnus. She pauses for a second. She's like, and she like does the hand thing where like you wave your hands trying to search for a word.
Mhm.
He was a very dear friend to me at the time, at least as far as I can remember. And he may be tied up in this conspiracy. Now, the exact nature of it, I do not know. But it seems he is a willing participant. And if he has anything near the same abilities as me, he will not be taken down so easily.
Oh, well, it would not be the first immortal that the Kaldwins have usurped. I
True.
trust that between your expertise and context being close to this matter, and the individual skills of your allies, that something can be done, but I will speak with Ambrose and Alexander to see if we can devise anything from here.
If you could, Lady Kaldwin. She keeps trying to call her M because she called her M as a kid. And she has to keep stopping herself because it's court. Can't call the
Especially
Empress
now,
M.
no one's looking. You can say whatever you like. I appreciate that you respect the throne enough, but you're my mother's sister. We are family.
You see her like kind of nod, and she's like, "All right, I need everything you have on Magnus, every file, every errant silvergraph, every like half-hidden report in some archive somewhere, like everything that has ever come up about him at any point while
I
I'm on
wouldn't
shore
know where to
leave.
begin.
I'm sure there's a
I'm
function
sure
here.
Ambrose can find something. I may not know these things, but Ambrose is more than capable. You said that he knew Anton Sokolov. Perhaps there's something there.
Yes, hopefully. But I would consider this a personal matter for the time being, unrelated to the investigation. Anything obviously done there, I will share, hopefully.
Understood.
Thank you. And she like takes your hand and like just holds it for a second. And
She holds your hand for a moment, but then she would go in for a hug. And she would just say, "Word got to me before the ship did of what happened in Morley. I am very glad that you're all right."
you hear like Lily's breath hitch. She doesn't get emotional very often, or at least not like sad emotions. This is definitely one of those times like she really wants to break down, but she can't because there's too many people in the room.
hmm
And she's like, she just hugs her and it's like, yeah, I'm glad I made it too.
Then, would anybody else have anything they'd want to see in the throne? Wonderful. Then we move on.
Yeah, I just wanted that little scene because I wasn't around for the coming home scene of saving Emily,
Mhm.
so I wanted like a little scene with Emily at some point. So I thought
Yeah,
I'd throw that in
it
there
does.
when I had the opportunity.
Even if estranged, over these couple months, Emily and Lily have gotten closer. Let me just
So preparations.
read my notes to make sure. Preparation specifically mentioned, but everyone gets a scene, and then all the like stuff that your characters do. Assumedly, they do it. Maybe we can do a brief description of it, but we don't need to describe like making your new wardrobe.
Right.
One thing that could
That
be
would be
said:
funny though.
the
Sorry.
Duke of Circonos is not who you might expect it to be. It is not Duke Luca Abel. It is the son of Duke Luca Abel, Marco Abel. He is only the Duke because Duke Luca Abel died of cancer 3 years ago. Died of a horrible malady of the lungs, no doubt due to his luxurious lifestyle. And his son, young though he may be, had to fill the role, even as a young man. So you guys are protecting a fucking kid.
How old is
So
this kid?
fun.
Is it like preteen or
16.
teenager?
He's 16 years
Okay.
old.
Right in the thick of it. Shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some hormone problems in this fucking arc.
Let me see what I have next. Let's go one by one. Molly, is there anything specific you'd want to do, or do you want to jump straight into your scene?
Liz?
You there, Liz?
Oh, she might have stepped away.
Oh, she might be away.
Yeah, because I had that whole scene, so that'd be the perfect opportunity.
Then we'll swing back to Molly. Oh, this one's gonna be a good one. Volcan. I almost did it. I almost called you Ambrose. He's not even in the fucking game anymore.
Ah, dude.
Volcan is forever
I would've
Ambrose
roasted
is
you
stuck
alive.
Was there anything specific you wanted to do, or just jump straight into your scene?
Honestly, I can't think about anything.
Okay. Then we jump straight to a cold stone meeting. It is necessary for you to still maintain appearances within your gang. You cannot be gone from them for too long, as you are a bastion of fear and respect that leads them, after all. And it's been a long while since you got to see your ship and your men, and go back to your room with your things. Some things that no doubt you need for the next mission. Some things you are missing, thinking that you wouldn't be parted from them for too long, but it seems like that is the case. Would you like to describe your ship?
Well, it's it's an icebreaker, so it's a very large ship with a it's entirely metal. Not very polished. It's like riveted together metal, and it seems that the sort of icebreaker like component in the front of the ship, because it still is at this point, it's not fully integrated with the technology yet. Seems actually rather jagged and overused, but it's kept at a sharp point. It's kept at a sharp edge, rather. It's probably 30 feet tall, like from the like bow of the ship, I guess, to the main deck. Just enough for a couple floors. No sail. Well, actually, there's sort of a backup one, but it doesn't work too well with a metal ship. So it's mostly just an emergency. Yeah, it just runs off of whale oil for the most part.
We find Volcan in his own throne room where he keeps court as a gang overlord. What would that look like?
It's in the probably near the back of the ship. Right behind the sort of like the head. Well, you know, like where they keep the fucking steering wheel for the ship.
Yeah, the
Right
superstructure.
behind there, probably facing opposite direction. It's most likely a not very, I wouldn't say sparse. It's like it is what aesthetically it's empty in an aesthetically pleasing way. There are just enough in here to show off wealth and power. Maybe a couple marble pillars, a red carpet, but he even though his chair is definitely the biggest chair in the room, he makes sure to keep a round table with his lieutenants.
Two of which are with you. Rava, who is very rarely ever not by your side, and let's see if he has a name. Yes, his name is Professor Gray. He's your money man. He is very good with numbers. And you have other things to worry about, so having a bean counter is quite useful.
Cool.
He is reporting to you the monthly, the like bi-monthly report, explaining how the different logistical costs and profits of your gang. He also tells you about how many new people signed on, and if anybody made the mistake of leaving. And he says, "Now, sir, there's it's a distinct lack of profit. I'd go as far as to say we are losing money, because you see, well, you gave the order not to no more bank raiding, no more squeezing operations. A couple of our main sources of revenue are no longer, by your own word, allowed. Which we that's going to prove a problem, and it could be as soon as about 4 months. We might not be able to afford everything that we might need. So this is, sir, we are losing more money than we are making. Do you have any solutions or ideas? I have 3 solutions that he would bring to you, because I've thought of a couple. We could, right, manufacture a business front and pose as witch hunters for hire in Tibia. We could take our supernatural defenses to a much more legitimate market. This would draw suspicion from the government and require a group of us to be a cell left behind in Tibia and maintain almost no contact. If they're going to become official, governmental, licensed witch hunters, well, we can't really be seen with them now, can we? But the revenue can be moved upstream fairly quickly. We would just lose quite a bit of our people. Another option, of course. Yeah. Oh, go on.
Please go on.
Another option is financing a union revolt in the Tivian mines. You see, by gaining control over the unions of the mines, we can take a little profit off that. We can have some things go disappearing. We can. I'm sure I don't need to tell you, sir. Now, revolts, unions in the mines are not really looked well upon. Oftentimes, they get a lot of people killed. Revolts for the working class never happen peacefully. But, these are people that are willing to fight. They're angry. They are suppressed by these mining companies. Truly, by giving them the opportunity to free themselves, we'd be doing a great thing and also control the mines afterwards.
That one will require a little more of balancing, I think. But that is a good choice. Here's the third one.
The last thing. This is much more temporary, but it could serve us for at least a couple months. We can ransom off some of the men, the criminal overlords, or the lieutenants of them, that are of value to the various gangs across Tibia. I'm sure they would pay top dollar for some of their fine lieutenants they have lost in our various gang conflicts. That just doesn't carry any sustainable income, you understand.
True. Okay. We're going to need, for the second option, we're going to need an initial stipend, which I can most likely take care of. For the first option, it's not bad, but we will need to maintain communication, and we will need to find a way to maintain communication and a way to sort of cycle our men back and forth. I'll most likely be able to find something out if I just ask a favor from... Actually, no, just a guy who can help us with this. I'll have to rephrase it. Maybe give our men a sort of chance to cycle back and forth between civilian-esque life,
Of course, I was hoping that you would have context and assets, contacts, and abilities that would fortify one of these plans. Then, are we going with Plan A, manufacture a business front and pose as witch hunters?
I think we're going to... I think that's good for a single front, but if we're going to do this for a long term, we need to fight on multiple fronts.
Absolutely. But that I can see. Ralva also, of course, who has some experience in the market.
Let's see. We should, before we move our men, we need that initial stipend. And we need to weaken the forces of those that oppose us, the other gangs. So, we're going to set up a few raids, I think, before we cycle our men into the witch hunting business.
Ralva
Weaken
speaks
the.
up.
Go on.
Leave it to me, sir. Explain what you want done, and I will organize the men. You know, as your lieutenant, Ralva as your war chief. You don't necessarily have to rally your men together. If you want to just throw your gang at something, you tell Rava who to hit. He hits them hard.
Well, hit their finances first, and their men will fall. So I'm thinking we find their warehouses, raid them. Let's see, and I'll bring up like a list of the gangs in Tivia, and mark out the ones that probably hold enough stuff that we could get them, but don't have enough men to actually guard them. Sort of like lucky, the lucky gangs for the most part.
Ralva takes the instructions, and he just nods with a stalwart confidence, and you know that your will carry through this room and will be done.
That's good. Is there anything else on the agenda today?
Yes, sir. But I just want to make sure. I want to be certain. Double check these things. Dot my I's. We're going with option 1. I suggest you need some more money to start that, right?
We're going with option 1 for now, and then in the future we're going with option 2 later.
Oh, even better. Fantastic. This is why you make the decisions. All right. Let me. He like pushes. He has this book, and he like flips through it. It's like it's a custom book that he probably made. So it's just a leather wrap with like parchment stuffed into it at an angle, and it's clearly that he reuses this book over and over again. It's also like his little black book. Like if someone got a hold of this, they would have the inner workings of your gang. Alarm. This one's much more critical. He like looks around to make sure that you're the only ones in the room. Rumors are circulating, sir, that Midas has become an agent of the crown. This is really bad for our internal identity. A lot of these people didn't sign up to work with the crown. A lot of these people don't like the crown. This poses a major risk to your criminal identity. If this were to be validated, it's not like it's not to say that I believe this, sir, but it's just this is what the men are speaking of. And if this was carried out to another gang, this would be cause for a coalition, a group, a forming of all the gangs together, and they would descend down on us like they've done times before.
He sort of like intertwines his fingers. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I am working with the crown, not for them. It is a partnership for now. I cannot tell you exactly what we are gaining at the moment, but I can guarantee you that we are gaining quite a bit. We are gaining a form of legitimacy, a form of political power. I can understand where some of my men are coming from. I guess I'm going to have to figure out ways to boost loyalty with him.
Yes, sir. Of course, I know that any decision that you make is for the betterment of the gang, yourself, our business. You have my complete and trust and faith. It is not the first time that you've dabbled in politics, after all. Though this is slightly different. I have some options here. If you would like to hear them, of what might be done.
Sure.
The first one, very obvious. We petrify those who are spreading the rumors. It's everybody will know why. I don't think anybody will be spreading rumors after that. This will likely knowledge, however. It will more likely legitimize it. However, I would dare say that very few would be willing to share in the knowledge after that. The second option. We can accuse the rumor mongers of treason and exile them with dishonor, after all. If you get exiled from the gang and you start bad-mouthing it, who's going to believe you, really? This moderate solution, it will not confirm their hearsay, with overreaction, and it leaves otherwise perhaps good men unharmed. But the rumor will likely spread out of our a great community here very quickly.
And what is the third option?
We can address the rumor with a speech. Whether you confirm or deny the rumors, you may be able to handle the situation by speaking to the heart of your men. They respect you, and if you speak with logic and confidence, they may still follow you.
I think it is best that we address the men. If we lose a couple due to their beliefs, then it is fine. They were never loyal to begin with.
Understand the men quite easily. Are we going to make it be known that Midas is working with the throne? This would the reaction to the other gangs would be very volatile.
If we do, we'll have to phrase it in a way that makes it seem less obvious, more contractual.
Like you're playing them, like how you did with the representatives.
Of course.
This seemed like it is a small bit of subterfuge then, but I leave that all to you.
All right.
Fantastic. Then that is all. That is all I have on my agenda. I will begin rallying the men. Ralva, may you can you help me with this? And Ralva stands up and he nods. He looks over to you as if he is asking to be dismissed.
Yeah, I nod.
And together they walk away. Professor Gray stammering all the while, and Ralva, ever the straight man, saying completely nothing. And for a few moments, you're left there and your round table alone. And the only people with you are statues. Some, perhaps, petrified people, those who have particularly scorned you, that you have made an example. And others, just normal, actual statues, made of fine craftsmanship, perhaps your own work, maybe a statue that isn't quite yet complete, your own little personal art piece. What do you do?
Do you remember many sessions ago when I gained another member and he wanted to be a made man?
Yeah.
I want to call him in.
Sure. I think he had a name, but I don't remember it, so we're going to call him Butch.
Okay.
He walks in. He's like taking off his like cap. And he's like holding it out of respect. He's like he nods to you and is like, "Sir, is something wrong?"
I need you to. I have a job for you. I'm going to assign you to watch over
Yes, sir.
Professor Gray for the next couple of months.
Okay. Should I rally some men, or is this undercover kind of thing?
It's undercover, for sure.
He nods.
On the surface,
I think
you
I-
are just going to be a little extra muscle around him, but just in case. There
All right,
are
sir.
some.
Consider it done.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
He begins to walk away to see to that immediately.
All right.
The next thing that happens is you hear a voice in this chamber with nobody else in it. It's a voice you recognize. Holding court like you're some king. It's the voice of Celine.
Bonjour, Soline.
You look over.
Yeah.
What's a statue?
Honestly, it's the closest thing to the Venice de Milo in this world, except it's actually almost finished.
What
It's
is the
like
Venice de
in
Milo?
the process of making. It's a famous statue.
I can tell, but what does it look like?
Well, I've never heard of
Oh.
it. Obviously, isn't famous.
Isn't that the
It's
lady
a-
with
it's-
no arms or whatever?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
that
latest.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like
Not looking at
she
you.
has arms. It's just that her head is only half finished.
Her head still not fully cut from the marble, not looking at you. The expression doesn't change. The voice just emanates from the stone. Don't welcome me like you want me here. Stand to attention, dog.
I sigh and I stand and I look at the statue. Cigar still in mouth.
Then it's confirmed. You work for that bitch, the Empress. Huh. I should have known. After all, you've already dabbled with work for the overseers.
So, at the end of the day, I make money. And I do a little things, and I keep a few people off my back. I keep a few people off your back as well.
You wicked bastard, you protect
pointing the
nobody
cigar at
from
her.
me. You ratted me out to them. Our time together was just for you to learn more about me, where my base was, where my sisters hid, and you brought them down onto us.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Solene.
Do not play coy, Midas. It was but a week after you abandoned us that the overseers came.
What the fuck are you talking about?
A liar to the end. I care not for your subterfuge. I've heard everything you've said here. There's nothing more you can hide from me.
And
I have.
of course you do. You always do. That's all you ever come here for.
Yes. Why else would I speak to you?
What is it?
Their blood. It's time. All of them.
Whose?
The brigade. And you know what? Just because your fucking mouth, Emily too.
He looks up, looks back down, takes a very long inhale of his cigar, blows it out and says, "Honestly, Solene, I'm getting fucking tired of following your orders."
I'm sure you are. I don't care. And I need their blood immediately. I'm sure you have no idea. But your daughter is at great risk. There are spirits haunting her, haunting me. I'd like to assume that your powers haven't gone so far as to necromancy. But I suppose I wouldn't be surprised if you had something to do with it. So I need the blood so I can do what you would never would and protect our daughter. Is that reason enough, hound?
That sounds like bullshit to Volcan.
You scan her for a lie. Do you want to roll perception plus empathy?
I don't really have it, but I can. Sure, it's gonna be like dice.
When baby mama wants the child support on ASAP.
That's 2 successes.
As far as you can tell, she believes what she's saying.
And what could you possibly do?
Use their various masteries, their powers. I don't expect you to understand what a witch of my caliber is capable of.
I'm probably the one person that could, Solene.
Then you understand for me. I will cast you in tormenting stone, and you will live out the fate that you have afflicted upon so many others.
No, I'm not going to do it. I don't believe a
Excuse me?
single fucking word that comes out of your mouth. And
I
you
don't
aren't
think
even
you
willing to
understand.
listen. What could I possibly not understand?
I am holding in my hand the charm to ruin you, Volcan.
Fucking do it, then, Solin. I'm done with this. I've been trying for years. Years! Fucking apologize. To say anything that I could, to do anything that I could, that maybe you would forgive me, but honestly, I'm fucking tired of it.
You've grown disloyal, Hound. You've grown impotent in your alliance with powers beyond you, and you will pay. And as that happens, there is a crack that emanates from the top and the bottom of the statue, as there is a stabbing feeling in your chest. There's like this breaking stone sound, as it feels as if the petrification that you have on yourself begins to expand and grow out. What do you do?
I'm gonna take the what the fuck is it called? I have it here somewhere. I think it's in. Where the fuck is it? I have it somewhere.
The counter charm given to you by Dawn?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the counter charm.
You produce this mirror and show the reflection of the statue in it. The first thing that happens is there is this surge of this like black lightning that courses between the mirror and the statue, and as it almost gets reflected by the mirror back into the statue explodes, and there is this long, like, echoing scream of Celine, as assumedly she is suffering what she's trying to do to you, and the connection that she is maintaining on this strange spell, allowing her to speak so far away, is beginning to wane, but it does not sever fast enough for you to not hear her screams of pain as her own fucking curse is reflected onto her.
I may have grown disloyal,
As it ends, the dust settles.
but you've grown hateful and fucking stupid.
Hopefully she heard that. As the dust settles and the statue that you've worked so many years on is gone, there is
Oh, fuck.
a strange red crystal where it remained.
I'm not gonna grab it with my hands, that's for sure.
It
But
seemed-
no, like
God.
I'll get like a
It seems jagged.
dustpan.
You stab into someone.
Oh, I'll grab like a broom and dustpan and sweep it up and put it on the counter.
Upon examining it, you realize that you have found crystallized spite, and I will send it to you in your DMs.
Ooh, dang.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, I was so ready for Volcan to whip out the cigar and just be like, you know what, Celine? To be frank, I don't give a fuck.
Frankly,
Want a
my
second
dear, I don't give
divorce?
Yeah.
This is why I left you.
Ooh,
No, but
this is good. Pinning.
Well, while we're waiting, does anyone have a level 1 bone charm they want? Just so I get out of the way now.
I'm
If you
maxed
can't
out
have
on bone
it-
charm slots.
Yeah, if you can't have any, just let me know. But if you have one slot to spare and want a level 1 from the pre-made list that's not cursed or ancient, let me know.
I think I have the two that I'm basically going to run with until I
Perhaps.
find something better. And I haven't even used one of them yet.
After that, Volcan, a few moments of silence, and then you hear the sound of Ralva. And he says, "Sir, are you all right?"
Oui, Barbara, you may come in. I need your help cleaning up.
He steps in. "I believe there's other things to clean up before, sir. I heard what she said about your daughter. I believe it is within my power to be dispatched to try and eliminate the so-called threat, if it exists or not."
She is. Geneva is in a complicated spot. I don't know if you could even get in there. And as terrible as the situation she is in, she is being protected. But You know what? You're right, Umbra. You're always right. You're the one person I can trust. Sure, go. Do what you can, but don't die for this.
He nods. I will set sail tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
He begins to step away, and we again see Volcan alone in his room, this large empty room made for the collection of many, given all to him, standing before his destroyed effort, smoking on a half-smoked cigar.
And I think, as the sun goes down over the horizon and the room fills with smoke, the glint of his eyes is all you can really see through this dark and the smoke, and maybe just the shine of a single tear trailing down his cheek as it then fades to black.
Next, we find Molly. Molly, is there anything you want to do in this this time given? Anything specific, or should we jump straight into your scene?
Well, I do want to do something.
What do you have in mind?
The true question is how am I going to execute it? I wanted to do, of course, a performance, as always,
Okay, it's a good idea.
but I don't know if it would be a private performance or a public one, because I do want to sing a song. I haven't practiced it too much, so I'm a little nervous about it, but probably she probably would perform it probably more in an open area, probably
Mhm.
in a public area. Yeah, I would say that. Probably during the later afternoons, maybe there's a few more people coming around the plaza, enjoying
Everybody's got
their
off
late
work.
evening. Yeah, and she would perform a bit of a special song, uh, to someone. She doesn't say who, but she knows that they may be around. Let's see, hold up. Let me get ready. Hold up. I need to get out the lyrics.
Yeah, this is gonna be exciting. I'm trying not
Mhm.
to pressure you, but this is gonna be a treat.
I hope I don't fuck it up. That's what I'm worried about.
Even if you do, it's gonna be a treat.
Hopefully. Okay. There we go. Okay. Dear fellow traveler under the moon, I saw you standing in the shadows and your eyes won't move. You put your hand out, open the door. You said, come with me, girl, I want to show you something more.
As the verses begin to pick
You,
up, more and
okay,
more people look over and begin to mass around you.
okay, yeah. You spoke my language and touched my limbs. It wasn't difficult to pull me from myself again. And in our travels, we found our roads. You held it like a mirror, showing me the life I chose. And I returned to my beautiful city. Black skies have changed into blue. And my love is so wise and so pretty. But some nights I still dream of you. That's the end of the song. At least a part of it.
Fan-
Beautifully
Fantastic. Of
sung.
course, there's yeah, it was really good. That was a. I've never. It's. I think you're the only person I've ever
Encore!
seen in one of my games like actually sing a song. That was very good. Uh, in fact, everyone can get a willpower for that one.
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Hell
Liz.
yeah.
No problem.
An amazing performance.
There's of course the backup of Molly's music box that adds melody to her music, and about halfway through, instruments that are not there, that people don't realize should not be playing, begin to echo through, and they're just so wrapped up in the performance they don't realize it's not coming from your music box. It's not coming from anywhere at all. It's this orchestra of a specter backing you up, playing this melody with you, and it seems to strike very well with the audience, who are very happy about it. If you'd like, you can roll your performance. I forget what combination you use. It's appearance art, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And which,
Sure.
just out of curiosity, is Molly the type to like put out a hat for coin? Is there anything like, hey, support your local artist?
Yeah, probably, yeah, 100%. She would definitely have something out there. Um, Molly doesn't wear a hat, but she would probably have probably like a bucket, like like a bucket that's seen
Yeah.
better days, that she kind of uses in the front. Sure. Let's see what's my dice pool. All ones, baby. Let's go. That would be my luck. Watch. And I got a few
Damn.
ones. I did get a few
Lol.
ones. Let's see. Four. Can't quite get rid of that one, so technically it would be what, 3? Sadly, it would be 3.
Okay. 3 is still good. That is professional level music, and you're going to get a single resource charge worth of coin.
A single one. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
which is probably like 50 coin, all in like ones and twos, fives maybe.
Let me write that down before I forget. Okay. Right on. That's cool.
And one of the last to put a coin into your bucket is the outsider, dressed in it's not his usual garb. He looks like he's taken like the clothes of the typical Dunwall working class, and he's wearing that so as to fit in,
Interesting.
and no one seems to recognize that he's there, who he is.
Of course. There's a smile
Uh,
and a nod.
he nods back, and he's the first to clap and the last to stop.
Oh. Beautiful. Really a tear to my eye.
Simper.
That was pretty pog.
But your
Mhm.
singing was fantastic, Liz. That was very beautiful singing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
And the outsider would have all of the same kind things to say, as he would find you soon after, and he'd be honored that you attribute a song to he assumes it's him. If he's wrong,
Yeah.
if he's wrong, that'd be really
Yeah.
funny.
Actually, it's the guy in the back, and then he's like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Me?" That's
Yeah.
Then the scene I would have for you is, I imagine
Mhm.
at some point you want to go rendezvous with your cult. Is that right?
Yeah, eventually I do wanna go back to the theater. I'm pretty sure there's probably gonna be a lot of repairs that she's gonna have to do / talk to her cult members, being like, "Hey, we got this place now. We
Yep.
gotta fix this place up."
You're actually really surprised when you walk in and they've seen to it mostly themselves. It is still like the
Oh.
first floor is fucked. Like they didn't try. It's flooded, so they just let it stay flooded, and
Oh my
like they
God.
Well,
started naming
yeah.
the fish down there. But like the second and third story, they like put planks down where there's like holes in the floor, making it much more safe. They've brought together the furniture that is salvageable and is like using it again, whereas the rest of it was probably burned. They've torn a lot of like
Crashed.
the reclaiming nature out from the walls,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
in some places it was left. It seems to be that it was like someone insisted that this vine specifically remains, and a painting has been hung next to it. In fact, that painting, it's a really big, like 8 foot by 8 foot painting. but it seems to be a bunch of outsider abyssal language that seems to make up like a landscape. It seems like the Dunwall skyline, except it
Ooh.
travels out of the painting. Like they didn't stop at the edge of the canvas and they started just drawing on the wall. And
On
they
the wall, like
painted
they
the wall.
continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, they continued it. Yeah.
Uh
Is
there
it
would be
done or is it looks like it's still going?
it kind of looks like it doesn't really have a clear end, but if the paint is dry.
Okay,
And it looks
okay.
there's enough there to definitely look at something.
Okay.
Uh, there is purple drapes that are placed around the tall ceilings of this place, uh,
Mm.
that are mostly just used to invoke a kind of feeling. There's occasional carpet that's been put down in places where the floor is completely fucked. Uh, and see, there's a couple like what do you call them? Like the sawhorses, like the where you would saw where you put like planks of wood to saw them on tables. Those are
Mhm.
about, and there's like some fresh timber that's been brought in. Uh, and as you would walk in, Baxter Biggs. He's in a much nicer suit now since last you saw him in the prison cell, or no, I guess in the beached whale. Seems like he's
Yeah.
definitely made some money for himself, and he can afford the nicer things that he's used to. He like double takes. He says, "Molly, you're back."
She whistles. I can't do the whistle because it won't pick up.
Of course.
She whistles with that type of like taking in the beauty of the work they've done so far. And Molly would say, "Seems like you guys have been busy."
Damn right. I gotta admit, I take a little bit of credit for this. In your absence, I figured that I should do something productive. If I'm gonna get that favor that was discussed upon when we first met, I gotta prove my worth. So those brothers you brought into the fold, talented folk, just needed an opportunity, needed an agent really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so they've been quite the, as it's put in the business, a cash cow to this organization. Undocumented, untaxed donations are great for a shadowy organization based in the flooded district.
Well,
And with that, I've
did
been
a great
able to
job.
finance many construction projects with the help of the whalers. They know companies that don't have a hard time getting their supplies here, and they've been great boon to us.
You even talked to some of the whalers. That's great.
Yes, I was terrified. I didn't realize that we liked them.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't tell you guys about them, but I let them know about you guys. To
Oh,
make sure
yeah,
you guys walk safely through this area.
that's great.
Sorry about that.
Those are formidable
That was my
assassins, so
fault.
I'm glad they're on our side. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Nothing bad came of it. It was just really scary to have two guys teleport in my room.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Yeah. At this point, Columbia would like open a door, like a creaking door, and she'd like, step out, and she said, "Was that the whistle of the imaginary jet?" It is.
Aw, Columbia. How are you?
Molly, I am doing so very well. There is so much space in this place, and my art is encouraged. It is quite beautiful. I have been seeing to some of the redirection, the redecoration of it, as you asked.
Of course, and you did wonderful. She looked at the painting.
Thank you.
I
Too
hope I hope
kind.
I hope I see more of this everywhere.
I believe that we could put it in many places. I have been receiving visions, and they are a endless font of inspiration.
That's good. That is absolutely wonderful.
Yes, as well as uh well, hmm, how do I put this? Someone approached me, and I at first thought it was because of my talent. I was wrong. They know you.
Hmm. Okay. And did you get a name? Description?
Yes. Yes, Sylvia Ashworth.
Sylvia Ashworth. Write this down. I could Molly. Did Molly catch the last name of Sylvia?
Yeah,
Because
Ashworth. Are you
no, not
asking
from
if you
her.
recognize that? Oh.
Yeah, like not from her right now, but I meant from earlier because I think Volcan might have talked about someone like that, right? I don't know how much of like Molly's been in his conversation when he's talked about like the witches.
I don't think that Volcan ever mentioned a Sylvia.
Sylvia? No?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, the
I might be using it.
Celine. I was maybe I'm
Yeah,
confusing with Celine's name.
that could be it.
Sylvia.
However,
Damn, Volcan, how
the
many
last
witches you
name
fucking?
What was the last name again? Sylvia what?
Ashworth.
Ashworth.
Now, I'll let you roll intelligence, streetwise, or occult to recognize that last name.
Intelligence. Either streetwise or occult.
Yeah.
No, I'm going with occult. Fuck that. Streetwise is not so great. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. D10. Yeah, nothing's gonna help me in this roll. Hey, that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3. 3.
With 3 successes, this is pretty popular and recent history. Brianna Ashworth. The second to Delilah Copperspoon.
Okay.
A known practitioner.
Last name sounds familiar, but I'm not too sure who this person is. What did they say about me? Or what did they want?
They said that apparently you two had met in another cult some times ago, and that you had impressed her with your time there. That she was once she had heard that our fantastic assembly was operating, which I don't know how she learned that. She sought us out. I think she has intention to
Huh.
join, and she asked me to tell her when she could meet with you.
Hmm. When to meet with her. Well, today I'm quite booked, but I could perhaps meet her maybe tomorrow. Do you
Fantastic.
know how do you get in contact with her? Is there a way that she and you
Oh,
contact?
you know how witches are. She gave me a dehydrated rose, and she said if I gave it water that she would know, and she would come.
Of course, of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, so clear. Obviously, it's you know.
I'm not a witch professional, but
Nor am I.
she nods. You know more than me, that's for sure. All right.
Oh, there's no way. I'm a painter by trade.
And a wonderful at that. Well, send her the message. I suppose put some water on that. And I suppose she'll probably find me somewhere.
Fantastic. I will see to it now. And she walks back into her room.
Okay. That's mildly concerning.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I don't know what she wants from it. Oh God. We fucking met from another cult. Oh man, Molly's sweating a little bit. That could be something good or bad. It's hard to tell at this point.
I think anything related to a copper spoon, probably not positive.
Probably not. No, probably
That's
not. But
rich
you
coming
know,
from you. Literally related to a copper spoon.
Hey, it's different. I'm on the good side of that family tree.
I'm not even
Yeah.
on the family tree, and I'm getting fucked over. Okay. Okay.
We will find you again after I've done another scene. The camera will pan out, and we'll find
That's
you
good.
the next
I need to go to
evening.
the restroom. I need to go to the
Yep.
restroom anyways. Okay.
Next, the camera would find Lily What would Lily be doing?
So, other than waiting for news from Emily and trying to get some information from Magnus, she would probably be at least the point that we would see her. She's at the remains of the clock tower, just kind of sifting through what's left of
Fantastic.
the rubble.
As you get to the clock tower, you find there are construction crews doing exactly what you intended to do. And there's like cranes and pulleys and a lot of Gristalian men just seeing to the first clearing of this, probably to remake it. And as you show up, let me
Yep.
one of the union heads, it seems like one of the like foremen that has nothing else to do but look at people and seemingly wait for you to arrive. He walks up and he says, "Hello, are you Lady Kaldwin?"
It depends who's asking.
Right. Okay. He takes out a
Right.
letter from his vest and he hands it to you.
Okay. And for reference, I imagine Joshua has rejoined me at some point in all this.
Oh yeah, Joshua's totally walking beside you with his badass stoicism as he pretends to have all the time.
Yes, the utter failure that is my bodyguard.
The
I've
complete
died
redundant
twice.
bodyguard. Yeah.
I've died twice, and the time it's taken him to be involved in the story. But okay, I'll take a look at that letter.
He nods to you. It's like a deep nod. He doesn't know like if you're actually royal. It seems like someone told him that you were Lady Kaldwin, so he's respecting you enough, and then he like scampers away quickly. Uh, the message reads as this: Dear Lady Kaldwin, I hope this
Oh,
letter
God.
finds you well and in good spirits. Maybe not too good of spirits. After all, I have intentions to raise them. It was such a horrible tragedy what happened to your laboratory. How I regret missing the chance to be shown your work. But construction has begun again on the Dunwall Clock Tower, and due to some more time-consuming means of excavation, insisted upon by the spy master, 3 mechanical clockwork soldiers were recovered, albeit in a damaged state. They have been discreetly moved to the beached whale, where they await you now. Until next we meet. P.S. Burn this letter. The Ghost of Dunwall.
You see Lily like kind of nod to herself as she's reading, and without looking at him, she says, "Joshua, do you have anything that starts a light, like a fire, match, lighter?"
Yes, ma'am. He whips out a whale oil lighter.
I take the lighter, I gently fold the paper back up into its envelope, and then I burn the envelope right in front of the workspace, and then drop it to the ground so it can burn harmlessly on the brick. And
It
turn
does
and
so.
say, "Come on, Joshua, we have a place to be,"
Yes, ma'am. Lead on.
and I will head to the beached whale.
You are able to enter the beached whale, and you get to determine what 3 clockwork soldiers they found.
What would be the ones I would want to actually save? The big ones that I had were Tick and Talk.
Yeah.
And the rest were pretty much guards and like handymen. Let me get that backstory back out. I was just reading it earlier. I need to see which one is which. So I'm not going to save them both. I don't think that would be what I would want for this thing. Can you just please? Here we go. Talk, which is the Emily robot.
Okay.
It's the audiograph and silvergraph recording and playback device. Is one of them.
Very sophisticated machine. It is fucked up, but not beyond repair.
That's good. Can I know what the purpose of me getting these is for, or do I just have to figure that out as I go?
I felt bad that I immediately killed the robots that you spent time making, and I wanted to give them back.
I see. Then yeah, okay. In that case, then I will take Tick as well, which is the
Okay.
organizational robot with Sokolov's voice. And then I guess you know what we could throw in there is a prototype for a new Clockwork Soldier that I didn't get a chance to mess with
Exciting.
before all that, and I can come up with a new design as like our chapter endpoint,
Could do, yeah.
if that's cool with you. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, we can work something out totally.
Okay. So Tick and Talk, horribly messed up, but still repairable. And then my prototype, that was supposed to be the next generation of Clockwork Soldier. That obviously is going to have a lot of bad taste in people's mouths after Morley. So, all right. And she's looking over each
But
one.
if
And you
anyone
see her
is
like,
to innovate, it'll be you.
yeah. You see her like pick up one of the arms of Tick, which is the organizational robot, and just kind of look it over. And like she flips the casing over and she sees the breaks and like the obvious damage from the fall. She sits down and she rubs her hands together and says, Joshua, do you know if there's a workroom somewhere in the Beached Whale?
In the Beached Whale, there's the Clockwork Room, which would probably have some tools in it because it's a very sophisticated machine. It wouldn't be a workshop like what you're looking for, but it would serve your means for now. The only
Right.
workshop that probably of your standard in this city left, because the one you actually wanted is gone. Probably the Royal Physicians. Maybe. Oh, you know what actually would exist?
Hmm?
This would actually work out really well. No
What?
one has bought Anton's property.
Oh, I could
It
buy.
is left there.
How many resource charges is it though?
I wouldn't make you. I wouldn't.
Okay.
You have so many resources, and you are a Lady Kaldwin. So if you want it, it can be yours.
So, do you mind if I flavor Joshua a little bit into this with my own
Sure.
talking? Is so when she asks that question, he responds with a Lady Kaldwin. I don't think there is a place that could match your workshop, but I do know one place that might come close. And then he will mention Anton Sokolov's manor
Mhm.
or house or whatever it was.
Just off of Dunwall Bridge, or Cambridge Bridge, I forget what it's called. It is a magnificent marvel of technological and medicinal innovation.
Excellent. You see,
And the
like,
camera would find as your. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, as he says that, her hands stop for a second, and then she puts her hands back down. It's like, that will do. But she doesn't look at him when he says that. When she says
The
that,
camera cuts to her pushing open the door to this chamber, this mansion, which has not been touched since Anton has died many years ago. Part historical relic, part elaborate mansion. It's dark until you turn on the light switches, pushing together fuses that have not been used in a very long time. The light sputters together. You see on the first floor statues. 3 massive marble blocks
Mm.
that have been chiseled out partially, and a not yet complete painting. And the painting
yeah, let's do the painting first.
would be a perspective of an individual at sea with what seems like a man to his left and a woman to his right. We're looking out at the ocean, much as he is, leaning over the rails, and whose details are indistinct, almost like couldn't remember what they looked like.
Not suspicious at all. You see her
It doesn't
just
seem
looking
to
at
have ever been completed.
like how incomplete is it? Like, is there only a corner incomplete, or is it like a whole half of it, or is it like in sketch phases, or like what?
The detail work. It's all of the core elements are there, but the detail has not been put into it.
I see. Okay.
It seems as if the woman has more certainty in her elements than the man. The man, he's like wearing a cloak, or his hair is long. It's hard to tell. It's not concrete. But the woman, you can clearly identify her hair and her turned away expression. And it's your hair color.
Of course. And she's just kind of staring up at this painting as the help that she probably got a hold of so that Joshua wouldn't have to do it by himself to get the robots in. She's
Yeah.
just kind of staring for a second. And she tears herself away for just long enough because she has all the time in the world to reminisce now. So, at least for these 3 days. So she would look at also these marble statues that seem to be partially completed.
One is of Emily. Uh,
Mhm.
one seems to be a self-portrait, but him like in his like older, wise age. He only got like the head and the upper body.
Right.
The last one seems to be the outsider.
Mm. She walks up to the Anton Sokolov statue and just puts a hand on it, taps it once, and then goes to attend to her robots and find that workshop. She needs a good distraction right now.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be thinking on this crap.
And so you walk up the metal latticework stairs into the workshop with the robots being marched beside you or behind you.
Mm.
And the camera pulls out. That was very off the cuff, but I'm pretty happy with it. I did not have
I
Anton
like it.
Sokolov's manner ready.
I mean, if you ever want to change details, let me know and I could amend my notes.
Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with what you found there.
Okay. I gotta go use the bathrooms while you do little scene, so I will be right back.
Sure thing. We did Little Scene. I'm looking now, and there's not one for him. His one was the one we opened with.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, little man.
We'll give you like a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to Molly. You there, Liz?
Gotcha. Nope.
Yes,
Oh.
I am here.
Gotcha.
We can do the meeting with Sylvia Ashworth. Where would you want to meet her?
Hmm. On a park bench.
Sure.
I
Good place.
wanna, yeah. God, I don't know where else I would do it. Could say at the drunken whaler or what it was called, right? That's what it's called.
The beach well.
The beach
The beach
well.
well.
My bad.
Yeah.
The beach well. Um, we can do it there, but I found this a little suspicious, and I don't want her to know this location. So
Mhm.
I think it would be like somewhere publicly, because if she attacks me, at least we know.
Yeah.
People know what happened. What happened
Oh,
here?
you know, it'd be really funny. It's like
Mm.
there's probably a park in the proximity of the Prime Spire.
I'll just be so close to the Abbey, man.
Yeah.
You know, that would be very convenient if the Abbey men are rolling around and then sees this bitch fucking going at it at me.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, sure. If
Uh,
it just happens to be close to one of the Spire, sure.
Absolutely. You find yourself a very nice little walking park close to the spire where a lot of people like to take their pets, their hounds, their families on walks and picnics. There's like this small artificial lake in the center of it where ducks reside. And you're there for a little while, just looking up at the shadow of the prime spire every now and then, how it pierces the sky. And as you're doing that, eventually someone would sit down beside you, and you look over, and you see a young woman about your age with like silvery
Mhm.
blonde hair, and she would be wearing a like a vest and corset. She would have her long hair like over her shoulder, and you can see that there's like some tattoos at like the base of her neck that like crawl up into like thorns, like a vine of thorns. Uh, she does not have the usual appearance of witches, that very gaunt, like I do black magic, vitality drain. And she would smile and say, Hello, are you Molly?
Yes, I am. So you must be Sylvia, was it?
Yes. It's a pleasure to see you again. When last we met, I wouldn't blame you for overlooking me. There was a lot of other things you were seeing to. But do you remember your time? Um, he like looks around, like you both wait for like this overseer to like walk by. He doesn't pay you any attention. Do
Mhm.
you remember your time dismantling that cult of the outsider?
She smiles a little bit. I recall speaking some words and watching it crumble a little bit. Yes.
Yes, I was a part of that. I was one of the individuals that I admit I wasn't one of the first to join your ranks, but when my sisters began to, I saw that there was a shifting tide and that there was a side to be taken. And I was absolutely not going to take the side of those old bastards and their fucking quarry.
She nods. They had problems. They had opinions, to say the least.
They were
Yes.
going about it all wrong. They thought themselves above these powers. They so deliriously claimed to have made the outsider as if. I think that you have a better idea about how to handle these kind of things, and after all, you were the only marked there. I heard that you're starting something of a cult yourself. Is that right?
She does a quick glance, make sure there's no Abbyman passing by.
Mhm.
Well, I can't deny such allegations. That is very much what I'm doing.
Fantastic. I'm glad I didn't come all this way for nothing. I have been struggling to maintain my power, grow in the strength of magic, especially because so many sources. It seems like everything in Serkonos all leads back to Delilah, and no. I saw what Delilah did. I saw what she did to people, even the people that she loved. I refuse to follow
Hmm.
anything that originates itself from Delilah. But I figured, as a mark to yourself, you have certain rituals of your own creation.
She nods. I have a few. So you're interested, then?
I would eager to learn them, yes, and I would offer everything that I have learned. I am uh, Sylvia Ashworth. I am the daughter of Brianna Ashworth. I am a accomplished practitioner and medium by blood.
Mm. Well, there's very possible chance that you're able to join us. But you see, I hate to be rude, but your last name, well, definitely holds a title, and
Yes,
you understand. I am a little concerned with that tie.
yes, as most tend to be. I figured that it would get me this meeting, but that it would also prove to be a hindrance. Let me assure you that I have been raised with magic since my earliest memories. My mother is, even before Delilah, she was dabbling, although unguided. But
Hmm.
I have seen what happened to her. I saw the depths that she sunk to accomplish what she had done, and I saw it all break her when she was disconnected from it. Um, my mother is of not sound mind. She's no threat to you. I've had her institutionalized.
Huh. Can Bamboy, can I can I'm not really good at this, but can I like insight check that? Like
Yes,
I
you
want to
can.
make sure she's actually genuine and not just being like, "Oh yeah,
Blowing
my
smoke up
my
your ass.
my mother's a crazy bitch. Can I join your club?"
Go ahead and roll perception plus empathy.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, okay. It's probably gonna be a bad roll, but at least I got some dice. Mhm. E. E. That's a 1.
As far as you
I
can tell, she believes what she's saying. She
you
is not trying
know,
to deceive you.
at least that I know of, but okay.
Mhm.
She nods. Well, I gotta ask, what do you offer for our group?
Well, I can teach other sisters what I know. I'm very good at learning more. I can
Mm,
discern at a glance who is of a magical origin and who is not. I know some spells, some rituals that are mostly focused on protection. I have the signature. I've learned the signature of the Brigmore witches. They're animated plants, and with it, I've been able to protect myself from those that would bring me harm. I offer the same protection to you and yours.
hmm. Let me ask. Have you actually been in an actual fight with, using your magic?
Mhm.
Bam?
Do I?
Bamboy?
Did you ask if? Sorry, am I lagging out?
Maybe?
You asked if she fought with her magic.
Yes.
Yes. When it comes necessary, I'm no good with a sword. I'm all right with a pistol, but I think anybody is. When people intend to bring me
Hmm.
harm, I utilize the powers that I have, and most of the time they're not ready for it. Between a protective seal and a dangerous whipping plant, most people tend to back off.
Hmm. Hmm. I think you could find a good place in our group. You've provided quite a bit. Um, uh, I enjoy the fact that you know a little bit of magic. I have a few members that are related to other witches. They practice a little bit of magic as well. Not all members, but if you could help them, perhaps learn a few spells, and vice versa. Uh, you may join. You may join.
Fantastic. I was hoping you would say that. After all, in this world of ever encroaching magical influence, we have to stand together.
I'm glad that you said that. I agree very much. A lot of people's ideals are thought in good intentions, but executed not so good. Uh,
Oh, quite so. You know what they
yes,
say. The path to the void is paved with good intentions.
many of them are. Yes, and if you're willing to help others spread that information, well, that'd be wonderful.
Fantastic. Then I will see my way to your headquarters, and I will teach and meet those that we dwell with.
Mhm. Out of curiosity, how did you find me? How did you find them?
Well, there it's off as a strange reoccurring dream with this particular melody in mind. And as I focused on it, as I realized what I was seeing, I began to discern different elements of it. Something was sending me a message of where to find you.
Molly nods. That is legit. That's all she really needs to hear. Well, it's glad to have you on our side, Sylvia.
She smiles, and she would go to shake your hand. It is a pleasure to be
100%.
here.
Well, I suppose if you don't know the way, we are located in the flooded district, but I'm pretty sure you would know probably by now.
I think I know where it is, but getting there is quite difficult. I wouldn't mind an escort if there's a safe way that you've carved path or a path you carved out of it.
I left a few markers. Uh, it is a hand. What did I do with the background? It was a hand with an eye. I forget my own logo. What
I
what
think it
what
was like
mark we?
an eye, and the iris of the eye was a hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I remember. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell her that is the um our mark for our group. A
There's
bit of
like
a
a moment
logo.
of realization, like as if she like pieced something together in her head. Oh, wonderful. I'll keep my eyes out for it.
I left a few markers there, but uh, if you are new to Dunwall, the area is underneath the whalers. So if you catch them, hiding in corners, watching you pass by, don't be too alarmed. They're just simply doing their job. We are allied with
Understood.
them, so of course, please, no fighting among them.
I
And
see no reason to. They are a formidable force that I would not dare reckon with. But if you say that we are allied, then I believe you.
oh yes, and I'll put out a word of you passing by, so you're able to, of course, uh enter and leave the area as pleased.
Much much obliged. Thank you so much. I believe we should go. And she says that as she's like looking over, and it seems like two Abbeymen have walked into the park with hounds, and the hounds are like sniffing at the ground, getting closer.
She slaps her knees and she gets up. Well, I definitely it is truly a pleasure speaking with you, and I'll speak to you soon.
A dream come true. Until next we meet.
She gives her a nod, and then she quickly turns around and starts walking away from the fucking Abbeyman.
Yeah, she walks a different direction, not to be seen with you.
Different direction. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, let's walk different directions, and then just walk.
Fantastic. The cult gains another one. Someone of actual significant magical power, no less.
Oh yeah, that's fucking wonderful. I will definitely, yeah, quickly, you know, find Howler or someone, maybe Ghost. I don't know if he's busy, but someone that can
You could,
relay at least to relay the information of
yeah.
a new member of ours. So please don't rob them.
Yeah, no problem. It goes through Skipper. You find he's your contact, and you can always find him. Uh, and he quickly carries that message to be dispersed amongst all the whalers.
Right on. I got a new
The
friend.
and Ashworth, no less. I knew that was gonna sketch
Yeah.
you out.
Yeah, 100%. Because it was just like, oh, okay, it's a witch, and I was like, oh, okay, that's could be bad or good, and it's like Ashworth, and I'm like, well, let's see if she kills me. If she stabs me, that's understandable, I suppose.
Yeah. Five, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You wanted to have a meeting with Alexander, is that right?
Yeah, but do you have anything for Little?
Unless Littleman, do you have something that you'd want to do, or do you want to try and get in on the scene?
Well, I didn't have anything specific in mind. I mean, I guess I'm mainly waiting for when everyone like comes back together. Is like, and we get to like the
Yeah.
home base is where I imagine stuff would happen with him.
Okay.
But if someone wants him to be in a scene, that's up to them.
I bet we could circumstantially put you in the same scene with Volcan if Volcan wanted that. It might be a private scene, so maybe just Alexander and Volcan one-on-one. But I could totally imagine
That'd be fine.
Alexander dragging you back to the Prime Spire to like examine you thoroughly.
You know, I just got a text from my mom, and I need like 20 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay, that's
Nah.
gonna be
I-
way too long to wait for.
I
Yeah.
could come up with a scene to fill time if you really want me to.
Well, mostly, is it a scene that Littleman can be involved in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, so was it Charles is the
Charles.
new character? So Charles is approached by, we'll say Joshua, because I was going to describe him somehow, but I would not be very kind about it. So he's approached by Joshua, who instructs him to follow him, and they're walked through the streets to this big manor off the bridge, where there's now crews working through the building looking for rotted joints, any sort of
As
like
he-
fixer up stuff.
Yeah, as he gets to the entrance and he sees the crews, he definitely like puts his hand in front of Joshua and he looks at him like, whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't a construction site, is it?
What does it look like?
Oh fuck.
Looks like a construction site.
Because it's a construction site, specifically renovations.
Do you have a spare helmet on you?
We are just walking through momentarily. I don't think we're going to need helmets.
Here, 1 second. I walk over to. I imagine there's like a bunch of supplies and like building materials, and is
Yeah.
there like a couple of hard
Oh, she
hats or
could be
whatnot lying
listening.
around?
Totally.
Oh, she
I
could be
grab
Totally
two
listening
of
to
them. I put one on, and I go over to Joshua and give one to him, and then he pulls out his shield and puts it over his head like an umbrella.
What do you? It's not that
I
derelict
mean, you
of a
want?
building.
I mean, it's not a big shield, but like if we squeeze close enough together, you can also be under it. Like,
Do not. You are entering my personal space.
all right. I
please,
mean,
sir.
your funeral, man. Continue on. I'll be.
Are you threatening me?
I'll be at least 10 feet away from you following. Just so you know.
Do you mean to imply that I'm going to be some hazard to myself? You know what? Don't answer. March.
All right, whatever you say. And fucking with his armor on, probably his other arm like tucked into his sleeve, so it's covered by the armor as well, and a shield over his head. He begins walking to follow.
Well, I wouldn't say you
They
have the
definitely-
armor yet.
Oh, you know, good point. His armor then, his shitty like leather straps that he gets salvaged out of the trash.
They
So he'd
never
have
do
like some
listen,
shitty
do they?
makeshift leathers. Yeah. I tried to warn him if he dies. It's his fault.
I feel like something like natural consequences. You kind of mock the universe this way and expect there to be
You do
nothing
this
to be
every
done.
time I go to a construction site. You always do
You're
this.
absolutely right. Every single time, even now. And you can see as there's like a shattering light bulb, as like right next to you, there's like a small explosion that you're perfectly fine from because you're holding back behind the shield. But there's like a shard of glass goes straight into Joshua's like armored coat, and you can see as he grunts, "Motherfucker! How did you do that?" And he grabs you by the back of the head. And he's dragging you up.
He definitely lifts him up. He's not heavy at all. He's what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I tried to warn you. I
I'm taking out my
didn't
fucking
everything.
eye.
It's not my fault, man. I'm just telling you, you should be more prepared. It's a construction site. Accidents can happen.
There's a loud
Uh,
sound of a hand clapping twice to interrupt this friggin' what is the name of that? Three Stooges shenanigans with only two Stooges. And you see Lily in her royal attire with the royal mask and everything, just like back at the court, standing at the top of the banister. Like, Joshua, don't hurt the poor boy.
He's
Yeah, you heard
yes,
her.
ma'am. Shut the fuck up.
You put me down now.
Don't put him
He
down,
puts you
but
down,
just
like-
drag him
He picks you back
Drag
up
him.
and drags
Wait.
him up the stairs.
to the workshop, please, as she goes to make her way to the workshop.
Yep, he follows after. Closes the door behind you and the catastrophe and stands in front of it. You're in the workshop. It is. I mean, I think we see this in the video games. This isn't like his roof workshop. This is like his actual like engineering workshop. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of tools that you're familiar with. Some of it older than others, but definitely even the old stuff is still like it was cutting edge for its time, so it's still pretty proper now. And there's like a whole power network. It draws power from like the main Dunwall City power network. There's a fuck ton of whale oil and spare parts.
You see on the table there is the undercoating, which I think for the armor was like just a thin leather, black leather, like kind of under outfit, like pants and a shirt, and some armored plates sitting on a table, along with a yardstick, measuring tape, and for some reason a pair of scissors that are especially sharp. She says, "All right, young man, if you're going to be a part of our organization, we're going to have to get you properly fitted."
So like, so I have to wear like a uniform?
Well, it's not a uniform per se. Ah, cat! You fucking...
A stray cat has to be chased out of the lab as it's like pulling some like dead
Yeah,
fermented
exactly.
rat.
That was just perfectly
Yeah.
timed for my cat to claw my knee.
A black cat walks through the construction site, and then Charles pulls out a thing of salt and throws it over his shoulder.
Fucking you
gray and
throw it
white
like right
cat
on
with a
to Joshua who's standing behind you, and it's like
Yeah.
His
It gets
fucking
literal.
eyes, he's burning. No, I was kidding.
I am back.
welcome back.
Welcome
My
back.
mother decided to buy an absolutely fucking massive Christmas ornament for next year.
Jeez.
For next
It's
year
big.
specifically.
Yeah, well, it's already past Christmas.
It was
Yeah.
on sale.
It's bigger than me, so
Crazy.
yeah.
Jeez. But
Sorry for interrupting.
no, it's all good. This was just filler until you came back, but we can keep going with it.
You can continue, yeah.
Yeah. So you see her, she makes a flick of the wrist, and Tick, which is the organizational robot, rolls up and starts pulling at Charles's shirt.
Ow. Hey. What's
Either
going
you remove
who
the
is
shirt
this?
or the robot does, dear, as she's not really paying attention and she's getting her tools ready.
What? Fine. He takes his shirt off.
She
Damn.
picks up a piece of like long leather, I think they're in skeins, but like rolls of leather. She's like, "Up, center of the room, please." She points at the yardstick.
Okay. He walks over to the center of the room, and funnily enough, you would notice his body covered in scars. Every single one of them different, like from a different source.
Right. As she like starts to focus in on the body, like she hesitates. She's like, "You've been through it, haven't you?"
Huh? No, this, some are a few years old, couple years, 1 year, few months, last week, last night. You know how it is.
Well,
So this is gonna protect me from like bullets and blades and rakes and hoes and
basically
banana
anything
peels,
that
right?
basically most forms of damage, yes, except for falling. I don't think it protects you from falling.
Well, if you ever have a breakthrough on that regard, make sure to let me know first.
I'll let you know when I copy Vito's airship technology, she says as she walks around your body and just doing like eye measurements first, getting like rough dimensions. And then you feel a smack on your lower back, like up straight, please. Like very stern.
Tries his
You are
best.
small. You are small, but I could probably make something work.
I mean, listen, it's kind of hard to build up muscle mass when you're running for your life all your life. So, it's not my fault.
Listen, a little cardio never hurt anybody. And she picks up the measuring tape. She's like, "Left arm out, please, to your side, straight."
Before he does so, he looks to his left to make sure and looks up to make sure there's no precariously placed like chandeliers right where he's gonna put his arm, and then he does it.
There's a book that is on a shelf that falls and hits you in the hand.
Look, really?
He looks, make sure there's no more books, and then he puts his hand up.
And she's even for Charles' size, she's still shorter than even Charles. She's a tiny lady, You see her like adjusting the tape measure along the arm, then the side of the body. And she spins you around with a strength you didn't think she had, and does your other arm.
Yeah.
Just trying to speed through this. It's like, so how familiar are you with tailoring, dear?
I've picked up on things like sewing and patchwork and whatnot. I'm pretty crafty with my hands, mainly to fix the clothes when they get inevitably damaged. But
But have you ever made your own clothes? As she stretches out one of your legs and does a measurement.
uh, not professionally. You gotta make do with what you have.
Well, yes, of course. Of course. And she finally gives you room to breathe and not be manipulated by a whole bunch of small hands. And she moves to the skein of leather and cuts a fair-sized strip off, cuts a little hole in it just big enough for your head, tosses it to you and says, up and over.
Yeah. He catches it. Okay, so
D catches it.
can I, while we're here, can I make a suggestion? Could you add a little extra padding around the heart, spine, neck? I don't know if this comes with a helmet, but if it does, put a little extra layer of leather in there for me, please.
I'm
We'll be
taking
equipping
notes,
you
you know.
with some.
Yeah, I know you're taking notes. That's why I'm preparing for when you inevitably try and stab me in the heart with a goddamn rake. Sorry about that.
Is there something the matter,
You look
dear?
insane.
No, I'm just, there's just some looks to nobody.
She walks up to
Because,
Charlie.
there's just an asshole,
Charles,
so
who she's now going to call Charlie.
Damn
Uh,
it.
And she takes off her mask, and you see the young appearance for whatever you want to call that looking woman
Oh.
underneath.
Whoa. I expected you to be like a lot older.
And wordlessly, she grabs you by the jaw and pulls your head down more to her height and looks you in the eye.
What's going on?
You are marked. Who marked you? And she like cocks her head.
Yeah. As you get a close look, probably his mask is off now. The mark is on his face.
Mm.
Over, probably like focused on the right eye, but extends out to the rest of the face as well. Completely encasing it, a little bit hidden by some of his like facial hair, but not completely. Yeah. I mean, if you really want to know, I don't think you want to know, but like if you really want to know, I just call him the insane asshole who follows me around.
I've never heard of, quote, an insane asshole who follows somebody around as a god. And she lets go of your jaw. How long has this been going on? Also, put the leather over you. I told you to do that 5 seconds ago.
Okay.
She goes to
He's
get
like
her
struggling to
scissors.
put the leather quickly as he's trying to explain. God, I mean, it's been at least 5 years. I mean, when did the I mean, fuck if I know what it's called, but when did like the world blow up and then monsters appeared? Yada yada yada. Basically, as soon as that happened, like the day after. Honestly,
Okay.
I think it was the same day. I blacked out.
Yes, well, there's a similar story for many in our little group. And she picks up the particularly sharp scissors. Now that we're in dangerous territory.
You have like a slightly less sharp pair.
I need to cut leather, dear. It needs to be sharp. And as she gets closer and closer.
He's definitely like leaning back as you get closer.
And like she adjusts the leather just a little bit so there's a piece coming over the front of you. And with a quick swipe, she cuts a fine piece off. So
When you
your body. Go ahead.
as you do that, the madman, as you're like taking steps back, is like, such hurtful words, Charlie. I can't believe you would say such things about me. And as like your attention is pulled away from Lily for a moment and over to the invisible creature, Lily swipes, and Lily, you didn't cut him. You didn't feel it. You're better than that. You know your way around these scissors. Nonetheless, there is a large gash across where you cut, very much seeming as if you cut him. That hurt.
He like falls to his knees.
You don't see you. Lily initially is about to panic, like she actually hit somebody with her scissors, but then she remembers she's fucking Lily. She doesn't hit anybody with her scissors when she cuts
You
them.
look back and your scissors are clean.
Yeah, across 4 different bodies, she has not cut anybody with these scissors. Probably 5 if you include Joshua, but I don't know if I want to give him armor. But Joshua will forever be the fucking kicking bag. But she kind of looks at you like, your god doesn't like you. Oh
Hey, I
no.
want to give it away. Bandage, please. Disinfect it
Joshua,
too.
Joshua, attend to the boy, please.
Yes, ma'am. He is already like going into the medicine cabinet. He pulls out 2 Anton Sokolov's health elixirs, which are dated, but these things don't expire. They have the preservation serum in them. And he drinks one as he seems to like yank out a piece of glass from his arm, and he hands you the other one.
Do you know what this is? As she like swings it in front of him.
What? The elixir?
Yes. Do you know specifically which one this is?
I know it's so close when I see one. My family helped make it.
Very good. Very good. So, these are not free. You understand,
You
yes?
cut me.
I didn't cut you. Your god cut you. You're going to be a new experiment for me, little boy.
What?
My new little Charlie.
Questionable.
Like,
Questionable.
very,
This
very
is just
questionable.
crazy, Charlie. Run!
That's the
Oh,
crazy
I have a woman in
fucking
front of me. There's
god. He's like, ah, she's a bitch crazy.
You don't mind if I call you Charlie, right? I think it's a more fitting name at this point.
It is.
My name is Charles, not Charlie.
Charlie, listen. I'm in the current situation where I need to study what's going on with all these marks and all this magic gobbledygook that I seem to be stuck in. So you're going to help me do that, and in exchange, I can heal your injuries whenever you befall them, whether it's your god or otherwise. I'm quite talented at it.
What? Just give me the elixir.
She hands him the elixir.
He fucking downs it.
Mmm. Tastes a little weird. You can tell it's old. You have experience with these things.
How long has this been in here?
Still.
Probably since Sokolov died. I haven't fully moved all my stuff over. They're still recovering my stuff from the remains of the clock tower.
You should really replace these as soon as possible. They're pretty old. They don't expire, but there's definitely something in there.
It's an acquired taste. Up again, and she taps you on the chin to stand you back up.
Just get it over with.
And we'll say that she more gently adjusts an outfit, and by the end of it, with more prodding and making fun of him, he now has a suit of telescopic armor. Perfectly fitted.
I can wear this right now, right?
Right on.
You can wear it underneath any piece of clothing. It is perfectly safe. Just
All right,
activate
I'm never
it.
taking it off, just so you know. You're not getting this back.
You might
gave
want
it
to
to
wash
me.
it. It is leather after all. It will absorb
I might.
sweat.
Maybe I'll jump in a bath while wearing it. I mean,
Also, the plates might rust if you jump in a bath. You kind of
okay.
you are going to have to go unarmored at some point. I would recommend waiting till your god is distracted.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. He's always distracted, but he still finds time to fuck me.
Yes, well, the
There's
best
always
boyfriends.
time.
You're dismissed. As she like makes a flick
All
of
right,
her
all right.
wrist.
I'm just gonna push a shield over his head as he quickly gets out of the construction site as fast as humanly possible.
For once, as you're like walking by that, the madman doesn't fuck with you. He just says he's like running by with you. He's like, "You kind of fuck, don't you?" I didn't hear that. It was muffled with the mic.
It's fine. He's cussing him out under his breath.
Yeah.
What have you gotten
As the scene
yourself
pans
into,
back to
Charles?
Lily, She's looking at her scissors again, just holding them in her hands. I didn't cut him. And then we can pan out.
The camera flies through the evening lit Dunwall City. It flies past the park that we had previously seen Molly and Sylvia meet in. It flies past the shore where it sees the silhouette of Volcan's ship offshore to not draw attention, and it flies into the Prime Spire. Volcan, you wanted to meet with Alexander. You'd meet in his office.
Great. I'm going to walk in as if that's a normal thing to do.
There's like the vice overseer is like, sir, I couldn't stop him. As like you like push open the door, and Alexander like turns away from his big ominous villain-esque window wall. He has two hounds that he keeps here at all times. He's such a big man, wide to match, and he carries guns and swords as if to imply his strength is not even just all you have to worry about. He stands behind the magnificent Tivian wood table with some ornaments all about cleansed heretical artifacts. And he nods to you and he says, "Don't worry, Vice Overseer. He was expected."
You may go.
The Vice Overseer, frustrated, leaves and closes the door behind him.
I kind of like look over my shoulder, like sort of as if there's a window to see him go down the hallway, but there's probably not.
It's glass. It's all how do you call it? Frosted.
Yeah. Bonjour, Alexander.
Welcome back.
Thank you. But this is I guess the best way to start is just to start there. I need a little help with a couple of things, and I'm willing to help you as well. A little bit of a quid pro quo.
I am open to. I must admit that over the time that you have served the Empress, you have shown an ability to use your formidable powers for good reasons. And this has swayed my opinion of you. So please, how may the Abbey of the Everyman be assistance to you?
Well, the first thing is sometime soon I'm planning a raid on some gangs in Tivia, and during the sort of chaos and confusion that will come from this, I'm sure your men can find a good opportunity to clean up quite a few of them.
If you give me the addresses and the time, I will send the men this way, or I will. Are these men that you intend to raid? Are they a magical origin? Do they harbor bone charms? Do they peddle on ivory?
Everyone in Tivia, every gang in Tivia peddles in ivory or some sort of bone charms, but yeah, for the most part.
Then this is a matter of the overseer.
Other than that, this next part is purely transactional. I need a form of a little bit of legitimization, a little bit of communication and cycling that needs to be handled somewhat covertly. I'm going to have my men start doing a little witch hunting in Tivia. Just mostly monster hunting. No, we'll leave the actual witches to you.
This is good business. You need legitimization, so you're going to a governmental branch.
We. But as you can imagine, there still is there's still ties to the ivory pick, and I can't have my men being cut off for so long. So I need your help with the covert process of switching them out every now and then. And I'm willing to Well, you still have those statues, don't you? I can make some not statues anymore.
Most of these statues have been seen too. But those that remain, if you can drop the curse, that would be of aid to us. Quite the expensive ritual we have to do.
Sure.
I can offer you the status of Inquisitor, and with this, you will be able to establish a Inquisitor's chapter, which will be respected by the overseers and will be of the knowledge of the spy master. However, this branch of the Abbeymen is not well known. It is not known to the Tivian representatives or their secret police. It is known by me, Emily, and Alcahest. Were you to join this, I would need you to tell nobody of this. But my
Well,
men would
that was the
recognize
plan
you.
from the beginning.
All right then. He reaches into his drawer and he takes out it's an emblem, and he says, silver or gold.
Gold is always my friend.
He nods as if he like, what did he expect? And he seems to attach a golden chain to an emblem of a bear. It seems to be a Tivian saber bear. Rather flat. Looks a little bit like a Witcher emblem almost. If it wasn't so much of a 3D model, it's more like flat, like a seal, more like a badge.
Right. Yeah.
And he would toss it over to you.
I'll catch it pretty handily.
My operatives in the region can help you and your men from the shadows. Do not abuse this power. It is not really one you can show anybody. So I trust that you will not try and sway anybody with this.
Well, naturally. So, to set up shops there, we could use a bit of a stipend.
Volcan. I do not have money to give you. We
No,
are
of course not,
under.
but the Empress does.
Then you would be best speaking with the Empress. I am not her treasurer.
No, but you would give legitimacy to the claim. So, I guess I do have this now, holding up the badge.
Do with this what you will. If that is your first thing to do with the badge, is to acquire money from the Empress, it would be quite humorous. We will see if your tongue is made of gold as well, eh?
Sounds
Oh,
good.
snap.
There's one last thing. That is purely personal. A few years ago,
Speak it.
about huh?
Sorry, I'm just lagging by a little bit. Go ahead.
A few years ago. Well, quite a few. About 16 or so. There was an event that happened in Tivia, a witch raid. I need I'll give you the date and the time and the place. I need to know everything about that night. I've recently found that I may have connections to that night, and well, I need to know.
If this was 16 years ago, that will be very hard to find. I'm sure you read in the Tivian print that the former Prime Spire, before my installation, exploded. With it,
Oui.
most of the archives, and those who could remember were driven mad. They fled or died. I will do what I can, but I cannot promise that these documents survive.
That's fair. No, actually, I need this, and I understand that you can only do so much, but I need this more than I've needed anything else. Today, if you are able to get this done at any time, I will owe you a debt.
Have a debt over the Fang of the North, but if I cannot do this, I simply cannot do this.
I understand. I'm gonna write down the information for him
Mhm.
and hand it to him.
He takes it. He
I'm not expecting an immediate answer. Just eventually.
What the business do you have with this? I recognize this place.
There was someone I knew got caught up in it. I can't go into much more details than that.
Well, if it was one of the mighty witches that called that region home, then it will be most interesting to deliver you this information. I dared not go there. Every witch hunter, we knew better. Much like how we did not dare travel your high seas in search of the great Midas, we cared not to tread where those witches reside. The fact that the Abbey men did, it is impressive. I wonder if they succeeded.
Shows he did to some degree. Anyway, I have to get going now. I've got other things. If you find the information, you know where to find me. Well, you know where to find a representative.
Of course. Until next we meet, Volcan, do not die.
I haven't yet. And with that, he leaves.
Okay. I'm gonna have to fucking write down some shit and like fucking people are looking for information, and I'm gonna have to figure out answers to those later.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And then
then
I go beg the and then I go bother the Empress for money.
Just go to Lily. She'll get you whatever money you want.
the Empress tells you that unfortunately, due to the circumstances
Budget
at
cut.
hand, no, you do not get money.
Oh, bro,
If
come
you
on.
she says it like, well, if you still had a favor from the throne,
Ugh.
Go get
it's
a
gonna have to be
job,
for your
bum.
own fun.
It's literally like it's not even for me. It's literally just to like fund the war efforts.
Invest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking funny.
But she wouldn't be able to build funds to you like that. It would be way too on paper. It would be very difficult.
Fair enough.
However, you can inquire with your allies, and also you just are rich enough to do it on your own.
Yeah,
I think
I
then
know.
we'd all meet again on the final day. You just got in the submarine. You're going to the bridge. I imagine you're showing Charles around. Charles, what a fucking magnificent apparatus! You could never imagine a ship that goes underwater. How novel!
Nothing
What?
bad will happen.
So many moving parts. So
Wait,
it goes
wait.
underwater at any moment. The
Wait, it
water can
goes
just
underwater? You didn't
goes
tell me
underwater,
that.
Johnny.
No. You fucking crazy ass. You listen here. You're not gonna touch this shit. Well,
I'm not the one that carries fire.
Yeah, fair
Thankfully,
warning.
it's a metal ship.
Yeah, fair warning. If anything happens to the ship, it's not my fault.
What do you mean?
I'm just warning you. Something might happen to the ship because I'm here, but just know that it's not my fault, okay?
Well, if it was because you were here, then isn't it your fault then?
Exactly.
not
This man
fine.
speaks the point.
It's not. Not my
That's
fault.
funny.
Okay? Listen, if you follow around a little puppy and you kick all the other puppies around that puppy specifically, it's not the puppy's fault. It's the fucker who's kicking the puppies.
Why would you kick a puppy?
I don't. I'm the puppy. I'm the scenario.
I'm the puppy.
You really are, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie. That's
Fuck it. Fuck it. If the ship sinks and I die, honestly, good riddance. Let's just continue the tour.
we all die together. You get to see the Hogger's Ass Bridge, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, but you can tell that it takes a lot of people. You would meet Theodore. Wouldn't be. Actually, hold on. I need to account for Theodore. Volcan, before you leave, before any of this, Ralva would come to you, and I should have mentioned it before. Ralva wants to take Theodore to go to Tibia. Would you give him your blessing? Ralva explains that, and like when you inquire like how the fuck could you even do that, he says that he saved Theodore's life and he owes him one. He has a life debt over him.
Oh. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Then Theodore gets taken on this operation to Tibia, his first real fucking operation out, as he is honor bound to respect it. It's not even, it's begrudging from Theodore, absolutely, but it is true what Ralva says, that their time in the manor, clearly Ralva saved his life, and that Ralva is owed something for that. So Theodore would not be captaining the ship anymore. Is there anybody you would want to replace him with?
Joan of Arc.
I think Dawn's a very good option.
Dawn is now an option. She is with you. Cassandra decided to stay at Morley, but Dawn came with you. Joan of Arc, I guess if you really wanted to come, yeah, she can come. Her name also isn't Joan of Arc, is it? Didn't I use like
It's
Jonah?
just Joan.
Yep.
It's Joan.
Famous
I think-
Irish folk hero Joan of Arc.
Kill
Yeah.
myself.
I think anyone other than me is a good option because if I touch that steering wheel, we are going to live at the bottom of the ocean for the next 20 years.
I know nothing about vehicles. I just build stuff.
Ollie can't drive. She doesn't have her license. Sorry, you guys.
I don't know if Dawn can
It's,
drive.
She
Well,
could.
Joan-
The position that you're trying to elect is mostly just like a bridge master who handles, like, relays
Yeah.
your order as the captain, and then to make sure that the people steering are steering.
Which, like, Joan makes sense because she literally worked on a military ship.
She is a Navy officer.
It makes
I guess
sense.
if Joan is still sticking around with us, she could take
Yeah.
the position.
The Joan can totally be an NPC you pick up from Morley, and she would come with you, seeing as how you saved her people and you avenged her king. She is a knight, well, a squire, and so she is duty bound to help you in your quest.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic. Charles, you would also be shown every other part of this place, which is, you notice, a really cool living space. Which,
Ooh.
try not to think of it as the interior of the beached whale just stitched into here somehow. That's exactly how I'm thinking of it.
It's got like a cool big ass window looking out to the ocean, probably.
Yeah.
Big,
I'm gonna
big
stay
window.
far away from that window, but it's cool that it's there.
Yeah. Like a mini bar. There's the pool area. There's the room in the back, the place of power, which you can like feel some light pull coming from that room. There's a weird light coming in from under the door. There's a massive
Whoa.
archive, full of plenty of scrolls and books that Dr. Polymu would be looking amongst, and you have like a bunch of them pulled off, and he's consulting 4 different books simultaneously. There would probably be a couple of kegs that were actually brought from the beached whale. Good drink. And
he does not hesitate to help himself.
yeah,
Like we're walking through, we're probably in the living area, and there's like a keg on one of the shelves. He sees it and like he stops and walks backwards towards it, picks up a glass without asking anyone if it's okay, and pours himself one.
Yeah, the cold one.
Oh, that's good shit.
There would be a training space, of course, where it seems like there's quite a bit of dummies and spare weapons to use to exhaust and destroy. A couple of like sparring matches and some apparatuses to simulate combat, like this weird spinning automatron-esque thing. Automatron's a strong word. It's just like this rotating armed pillar that tries to smack the shit out of you, and you try to block it.
Patented
And
Kaldwin Industries training dummy.
yeah, training for dummies.
Yeah, that's exactly how
And
it's titled on the box. Sorry, go
recently
ahead.
added, maybe not even done yet, but somewhere where Volcan would have been working on it is the modified telescope, given lenses inlaid with these abyssal Pandician, in even some regards, language glyphs carved into the lenses at such an angle to where when viewed all through, it can augur things not of this world. But to you, it just looks like a really cool telescope, which on its own, looking at the stars, is pretty fucking sick.
It can look, yeah, it's
Pretty neat.
positioned in such a way in the ship that it can rotate to look at the sky or underwater.
This is as Charles is like walking around, he's definitely like, and this is one of the craziest ships I've ever been on. I mean, this is basically a castle that travels along water. You guys just have this?
And
We
just
stole
looks
it.
You what?
We stole it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I feel like I've been on this ship before. Did you
Have
steal
you?
this from some asshole who was doing some weird ritual?
Oh my god, yes!
Oh. Yeah, I
Plague
kind of ran into
Queen.
them like very momentarily. I was running away through Old Dunwall, after the Abbeyman tried to kill me after finding out I was a marked, after, when they released me from the ceiling constraints.
Of course,
And then
the
I ran
usual,
into these assholes, but I managed to find one of their outfits to sneak into because, God, dude, moments before, you wouldn't believe it, a building fell on me. I was like camping out, some people rolled up and then crashed a building on me, and I'm lucky I got out of there alive.
Ah, that sounds awful. I'm so sad that happened to you. She doesn't say a word.
But
Yeah.
I had to get new clothes, so I wore one of theirs. They thought I was one of them, and then I got on the ship. And you know what? It is coming back to me. I kind of like repressed it, but I'm pretty sure you guys almost killed me as you were barreling through the ship, and I had to pretend I was one of them. And I think that it was that Ambrose motherfucker who almost stabbed me through the heart. Well, good times.
Good times. Yeah, that sounds like him. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, that was us.
So you just stole this from them?
Well,
the
we
wall.
kind of, turned him into stone, and well, obviously he couldn't
Mhm.
drive anymore, so
I
we
personally
took it off
prefer
his
to believe-
hand.
Yeah,
I personally prefer to believe we liberated the submarine from ne'er-do-wells.
yeah, liberated. Listen, I'm not one to
Yeah.
say no to free stuff, so like, I mean, why would you leave this thing behind? You know what I'm saying?
We
Is
couldn't let it
ne'er-do-well a type of
rust.
whale?
It's a narwhal, not a ne'er-do-well.
Narwhal swimming in the ocean.
So, she looks over to maybe Molly would know that he was taken by fucking Lily, but she looks around to everybody. Does anybody find out what god he's with? You're with a god, right? You're marked.
I don't like to call him that because I feel like that's giving him a position of power that he doesn't deserve.
He's marked, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, want to elaborate?
Yes, Charlie, why don't you elaborate?
It's
You should
Charles.
elaborate by blowing them up.
I'm not gonna blow them up.
Just disintegrate them.
All right, I'm just gonna put my hand up for no reason. Don't worry about it. Well, listen, he's kind of like an insane lunatic. So let's just like, I recommend. Well, you bastards don't even gotta worry about it. But I recommend if for some reason you can, stay away from this general area around me. because he will fuck me, and then you would get fucked up too in the process.
I
Hmm.
mean,
Well, that is quite concerning.
it's
Yeah.
highly antagonistic, so
You mean you don't
D-
say?
does
likely young.
does he have a name?
I mean, technically speaking, he calls himself insane monikers. The only one that's stuck around is either Madman, Mad Hatter, because he has this stupid fucking hat on all the time.
Whenever you say Madman and Mad Hatter, what everyone else around you hears, they called him Hermergilguffen and Gribbly Burba.
Damn it.
Terry, you have to speak English. for
Weird.
that. Yeah.
Oh, is that one? Oh yeah, I've heard
Oh,
of
is
this
that
one.
one? He knows it.
Yeah. I have no
I
idea
was-
that my voice was
I was-
fucked up, so I'm just assuming
would
you
ass-
all heard me unless called out.
I would assume with
What?
my occult, I would at least know one that you can't speak its name or it comes out like gibberish.
Yeah, definitely it's doing something to make it to where its name is coming out as gibberish, unless he's just fucking with you, but that is typical occult shit.
Yeah.
Molly tilts her head. Can you repeat that? What was his name?
Well, I mean, you didn't hear me. It's the blah and blah.
Actually, when you go to say it the second
Weedledoo.
time, it's you get it out. It's the Madman.
Okay, Madman, Mad Hatter. For some reason, this time he lets you hear it.
You're seeing Lily's eyes sparkle. Like she would be taking notes if she didn't have a photographic memory.
I guess that's fair. Any consistency is the antithesis to insanity.
Yep. And what you have to do is do the same
Interesting.
thing over and over and over and over again, repeatedly,
Yeah.
expecting a different result.
That's if not a fucking. Hate that.
I must ask, Bamboy. We are on the
Yep.
ship. Doesn't that mean
Uh-huh.
he could manifest?
Oh, you definitely could.
But will he is the true question.
Listen,
But
the
will
day
he?
he manifests is a
little
happy day
shy.
indeed.
Yeah, dude, he's never gonna fucking show
I
himself.
wonder how the other
watch.
gods in the room. I know the outsiders
Yeah.
somewhere.
The outsider, as you look around for him, you can see the outsider at the keg. He's pouring himself a beer on asking as well. And he looks over at you with a tired expression. You poor miserable creature.
What?
You poor bastard.
We can all hear him, right, and see him.
Yeah, you can all see the outsider always whenever he shows up.
Ah, he's drinking. Okay.
Did he just call me a miserable creature? Wait, is that the
Are you-
outsider?
Yes, in the flesh.
Are you sure? I mean, you don't
I-
have the eyes, though, right?
You're
You
right.
look
You
like
are a
him.
studied occultist.
I mean, I dabble a little bit out of necessity, truth be told. I tried to find a way to free myself from the monster that has put a leash on me.
Didn't work, did it?
Never do it again. Let's just say I
Mm.
like having my arms.
I can make you some.
I-
What happened to
new
his eye? Isn't he supposed to have black eyes or something? I saw him in a book once.
You're so 2000 and late. Come on, buddy. That was last year. Last year's
Oh,
style.
my bad.
You did not.
He shoots a
just
finger
fucking
gun
say
over to
that.
Molly.
Yeah. She knew the assignment. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna pour myself another drink, and I guess if we're gonna work with each other, 1 second. He pulls out. He grabs his bag that he has, pulls out a bunch of stuff. You just see it's he pulls out a leather strap, just full of bone charms. Get myself prepared. You guys want? I mean, I have a couple spare.
Mm.
I mean, I could make you some if you want.
Molly's senses are being triggered, seeing how many fucking bone charms this guy has.
A lot of fucking bone charms.
That's a lot of fucking bone charms. Holy shit.
Can you uncurse a bone charm?
No.
Fuck.
If I could do that,
I
I'd
don't want you to
uncurse myself.
Fair.
I could
I
give it
don't
a
think that's gonna be
worse
happening
curse if you
anytime
want.
soon.
Yeah, I could make it even worse. I mean, it gets a little better as
mean-
well, but it's also like the curse is worse. You know how it is.
If you can make the curse worse and then reflect it at other people, that'd probably be fine.
I could kind of do something like that.
We'll talk about it later. Focus.
Yeah,
Focus.
yeah. So I imagine this is like our, superhero pad. I mean, you got so much shit here, and we're heading
It's,
to Serkonos in this, right? We're sailing this to Serkonos,
Oui, that is correct.
Yeah. and I'm not allowed to stay on the boat.
No.
Okay,
By
worth a
yourself?
shot.
No.
I will
You can always stay with
wear a
me.
mask. No, I will wear a mask, and I will have my hood up all the time, and I will be making an effort to sneak around, not because I'm not welcome there, but because you never know what could pop out on you. Is that okay?
Charlie.
It's not unreasonable. You should definitely put your mask on. Just
Yeah,
overall
yeah.
when we're doing these outings. So
sure.
I'm not against it. But saying that
Charlie.
you're not wanted, that's
Yeah, I never said that. I mean,
Charlie, do you want to maybe clear the air here about Serkonos? Since we're all going to be
Liz.
working together.
You're such a terrible liar when you're trying not to lie, Charlie. When he says it this time, you can all see the person that wasn't in the room before. Like big smile, crooked hat on a hat, like the tattered apparel. This time he's in like a three-piece suit that has definitely been drugged through like some mud and blood. When you look at him, he looks back at you, and his expression, his eyes show like a startledness as his mouth is still stuck in a smile. And he just whispers, "Charlie, think they can see me."
They can't fucking see you. I'm the only one who can see and hear you. You're driving me insane.
Right.
Ollie just points. Ollie just points.
You're imagining things.
You're insane.
You're both insane.
I resent that.
Wait, what? What do you mean we're both? Wait, you can see him? You can hear him? Say yes.
I believe so.
Oh my god.
No, damn it!
He's never looked so happy in his life. Oh my god, it's real. It is real. I'm not gonna lie, I was starting to think I actually was insane at this point. I'm just making it all up and it's all in my head and it's not real. Oh my god, you have no idea how happy this makes me. You can see him
points
right
over he points over the outside and he says, "This is your fault." And then he explodes into like a cloud of like smoke and glitter.
Bruh. How fucking extra.
Dude,
He's interesting. He has a very much a personality.
For
I
sure.
would very much like to interview him one day.
Not the biggest fan
I
of
mean,
that
if
one.
you can have him. You can have him. Anyone want to take him? You can have him.
Sorry, I'm sworn to a different god that's more about order. You're going to have to find somebody else.
We
Sorry,
can trade.
I'm also.
I mean, I'm down to trade too.
No.
Her boyfriend
fine,
would
I've-
better.
I've spent enough years with madness.
Like a few more, please.
I don't think we
Sadly,
could
no.
do that even if we wanted to.
You're right. He's only here to make me miserable.
Well, look on the bright side. It gives you somebody to talk to.
He starts sobbing.
A single tear goes down his left eye.
The outsider like finishes a long drink and he's like, "I think we were interrogating Charles about his business in Serkonos."
What?
Yes, thank you,
Were
Mr.
we?
Outsider.
He nods to you.
Charlie, what
Right.
did you tell us about your history in Serkonos?
So you meet some friends. She puts like bunny ears.
Okay, listen. First off, it's Charles, not Charlie. Okay, second off, I may have lied a weensy tiny bit. I may not be welcome in Serkonos.
And what
Why?
did you do?
Okay, listen, my family may or may not have been completely what's the word? Denounced, ridiculed, disowned. banished. I don't know if that's the right word. Basically, all their reputation gone. Apparently there was some weird shit going on, and they found some documents stating that they were lying about being great elixir makers, which is totally false, and that asshole lawyer probably fucking forged them. But, and then it just so happened that night when I lost everything, my wife left me and took the kids, and I went to a casino, and then it blew up, and then this asshole appeared as he looks over to the madman.
For once, he's not there.
Of course he's gone now. Of course, when I'm trying to make a point, he's gone. You can't just stick around. Anyways, it might have blew up and a bunch of people died, and their spirits may or may not be haunting me for the rest of my life, and I can't sleep because of it, but it's not that big a deal. And then I may or may not have accidentally been next to 20 crimes that were committed, and then that was blamed on me, so I also became a criminal. Don't worry about it.
Top assassin, Charlie.
But
Well,
suffice to say, I'm going to be hiding most of the time, especially if there are guards around, because they will recognize me.
Not
And
that
also, fair warning, I recommend stay away. Yeah, stay away from Aphrodite Cosmetics. It's a scam. Trust me. It's all a scam. It's overpriced, like noble makeup type shit. So, like, if it looks appealing,
I have some
don't trust
Aphrodite
it.
products.
Nah, you should get rid of those. They're garbage. They're trash.
Well, that's the thing, is that they seem to be such a fine quality, and like they last so long.
No,
I don't even have my mascara run half the time.
That's just the placebo effect. I'm a doctor. You can trust me.
We'll see about that.
All right. Anyways, just
well,
be aware of that when we're there, and try not to be open about my existence when talking to people.
Do you have a name we could call you so we're not calling you by your real name?
Okay. Technically speaking, no.
Charlie it
You could-
is.
God damn it. But we're
you
just
need
gonna
a
It's
bit of a
almost like
code
they
name.
planned this from
Yeah.
the very beginning. No, go ahead.
we just gotta be careful while we're there is all. I'm
Yeah,
used
It's
to
best
being
to
careful.
give you a different name. Do you have something maybe in mind to
Well,
call you?
I do have a persona in the criminal underworld known as the Catastrophe.
Ah,
That's what they call me.
Cats.
And I kind of have to keep it up because, one, the perks are nice when dealing with criminals if you're known as a super wanted criminal. And two, if they ever found out I'm not the super wanted criminal, they will find me and murder me in the most horrendous way possible.
Molly nods.
So I'm going to have to put on a show and pretend to be a big criminal sometimes. So I'm not really a criminal. I just pretend to be.
So you're trying to play your part, the one that people gave you.
Yes, because if it's ever found out that the part they gave me is a fraud, then I'm gonna have half the criminal underworld, God knows what, wanting to do to me.
Okay.
Volcan, your input as a representative of the criminal underworld.
You can't tell anyone, Volcan. You can't tell anyone. Please.
Did anyone what?
Good man, good man.
Back in the day, in the academy, I think you were called Charleston, weren't you? What's up with Charles?
People just called me Charleston, and I didn't care. And I was a different person back then. It's different. Time passes, things change.
Yeah, now he's Charlie.
I'm Charles. Charles Achilles. Not
Charlie the cat,
Not
obviously.
Charleston. Not Chutney.
Chutney.
Did someone
Not
call you
Chutney.
that?
You'd
How
be
about
surprised.
charcuterie?
No, but you guys can trust me. I'm not a bad guy.
But we're kind of forced to trust you. The Empress made.
Yeah.
Made it very
No,
clear
you're
we're
not
gonna
gonna
work with
regret
you.
this. You're not gonna regret this. I'm an invaluable member of any team I'm on.
If you sink the ship with me on it, I swear to God.
Okay, I won't sink the ship, but no promises for the other guy.
Only nods.
I'm gonna drink myself to sleep tonight, and then when we get there, just wake me up with a cold splash of water.
All right, don't drink all of it.
All right, sounds good.
Well,
I look over to the outsider. Hey, pour me one, and he walks over to get more alcohol.
He would pour you one. And as you do that, the madman comes back. Like all the lights go out for a moment until there's just one, and he stands under it. He's in a it's definitely a parody of like the Royal Navy attire. It's way too flamboyant. He's still wearing two hats. He has like a cloak on a cloak, and he says, "And to that end, I have stipulations. Consider yourself held captive. First, I demand all the ivory you have on this ship, so that my acolyte may make all the bone charms I so desire. Second, bring forth your most entertaining jester." He's going on as he realizes
Bamboy.
you can all see him now. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
would like to interrupt him and use
with what?
my
Your
level
funeral.
1 Storm Bearer ability to turn the lights back on, and just be like, no.
I demand 3 of your teeth, and I will choose which one. Come here.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna walk over to him and I'm gonna put my hand right fucking on him. Bam. I'm gonna turn him to fucking stone.
You're gonna try to do that?
He goes and like grabs at your mouth as you grab on his shoulder, and he's like, all right, a canine's quite the carnivorous creature, aren't you? What does that tickle? It looks
this is
down
just
at it.
noble.
You can see that like he's petrifying. He's like, how very disrespectful. Do you know what sacred flesh you're touching? You know the knife cuts both ways. And he goes and he palms you in the chest. And it's like, he doesn't seem to be doing any magic. He seems to just be like punching you once in the chest. There, you're cursed.
No shit, Sherlock. I'll be DM.
What? And at this point, like
Alright,
the
fine.
stone is like crawling over him, and you can see as like his expression of like pain is like cast in stone for a moment. It's like, and then as it like finishes, it all crumbles to dust.
Yeah.
oh, this is going to be a fun cruise. Outsider, pour me one too.
I can only assume he'll
Alright.
be back momentarily.
He's faking it. He'll be back. He always
Disintegrate him!
back.
Kill him now! He's like
Yeah, there he
outside the
is.
window, and he's like banging on it.
He's
Yep.
like underwater, like voice.
Yeah. Trust me, Volcan. I've tried everything.
Let's
Oh,
go.
this is gonna be one hell of a boat trip, you guys.
Yeah, and you know it's one hell of a life too. Down at this point, he has a whole bottle of alcohol. Doesn't even have a glass anymore. He's just chugging it.
Does finger guns, then takes a huge swig.
Yeah.
And with that, the camera pans out as it sees the submarine moving at pace to Serkonos. We time skip to being at the Serkonian shores. Serkonos is a beautiful island that is incredibly mountainous and covered with thick green jungle. It is you can behold most of it at any place in it because of how mountainous it is. You're specifically landing on the city of Karnaka, its capital shore, where you are expected and you are welcomed by the Grand Guard, this island's equivalent of the military. They wear a kind of ocean blue. They are very similar in appearance to the City Watch, in that they don't really wear too much armor. It's more a jacket, a sword, and a helmet. They are not so much a military. They are very much a police force. Let me roll. Oh, I'm getting
I'm
ahead of
gonna
myself. I have
change up my mask. I'm gonna change up my mask slightly so it doesn't look like Midas.
Of course. Before I can release you onto the wonderful shores of Serkonos,
Oh.
the spy master, Alcahest Graves, would like enter the room as you all are like drinking and having fun, and you can see with him Skipper. They both are carrying a suitcase. You've seen this many times, but Charles, this is the first. And he nods to all of you, to Molly, to Lily, to Volcan, to Charles, and he would
Hey.
walk over to the pool table. Hello.
He's new.
Yeah, more people that have to see me. I'm sure you know the value of secrecy.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
This person is very well aware of the value of secrecy.
Fantastic. I have goods. And he opens up the briefcase, and I will post the shop.
Let's go.
I gotta find a place to put new
right.
items because that fucking table, the new table you gave me.
Really
It's
big.
also time for Charles to work his magic to get a little bit of a discount.
Yeah. What are you rolling?
Still social.
I'm gonna do subterfuge, and I'm basically gonna make him believe his wares are not worth as much as he thinks they are. I'm gonna gaslight him.
Sure, yeah. Gaslight him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, as I'm like looking at everything, I'm like, whoa, we can buy this stuff? Man, crazy.
Just like Gatekeep Charlie.
Oh, damn, that's unfortunate. You see that? Yeah, a lot of these items are kind of like counterfeits, slightly knockoffs. As someone who's been in the business end of things all my life growing up, I can tell. Trust me. If you look here, you can see the insignia slightly off, so that's how you know it's not quality. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get much from any of these anyways. But you know
I
what?
was-
I'm a little desperate, so I'm willing to pay you a premium.
I was assured by my dealer that this was of pristine quality. Would you
Trust
roll?
me, as someone who known as the Catastrophe, I know a scam when I see one.
Oh, right,
Which
that's your
roll?
nickname. How the fuck do you
Subterfuge.
put that in dice rolls?
Nah, because I'm bad.
Been to the mound.
Six successes.
You get 3 resource charges. I suppose you may be right. I mean, after all, you would know your ways around a Sokolov's health elixir or a Pierre's spiritual remedy. I mean, we all know what happened to your family and where they came from.
You had to make the bone charm natural, you fucking bastard.
What's wrong with natural?
I can't plagiarize it.
You're
The
right,
only
you
kind
can't.
of bone charms I can't plagiarize.
So I have things in mind, but I want to hear what everybody else wants to do first.
If you're bitten by blood flies, you deal damage to them. They cannot lay their eggs inside of you. That's a fucking horrible thing to think about.
Yeah, isn't it?
When you use it, you have the Regal Mask property, but other than that, it's useless. However, it can be sold again. I mean, that's not bad. Regal could come.
For
in
someone who
handy.
can't generate resource charges, this is a chance to get some.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All you have is all.
I could- If nobody's going to buy the cane, I'll buy it for somebody who can't normally generate charges, because me and Volcan are super rich.
Okay.
So
So
we
here's
will
what
always
I'm
have
gonna do. I'm gonna use 1 resource charge to get the Sokovian brandy.
Fuck, I wanted that. Okay, go ahead.
You want it?
Freaking alcoholics.
Because I could pretend to be drunk as like the fucking...
Nah. He Charles, you notice he's looking through all this useful stuff and then just normal ass alcohol, and then you just see like Well, I'm
Oh,
pretty
I gotta
broke
take
right
the
now.
bone charm.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty broke right
Dude.
now. And this is all I have, but I'll just take this off your hands since nobody else wants
Oh,
it. He
what?
instantly goes for the
That's-
alcohol.
That's not supposed to be there. I don't know what I.
No,
that's just
don't worry. I'll
brandy.
take it
There's
off your
nothing-
hands. I understand. Very useful magic stuff is needed
I
for
didn't-
this.
Of course,
just
of course,
pocket
but
it.
that is still going to cost you some coin.
Yeah, here you go. I'm going to use my 1
Okay.
resource charge from Emergency Stash 4
Yeah.
as he pulls out what little money he has. It's really sad. He pulls out a little coin pouch, and it's just barely enough to get it.
None of it's in
The-
gold. It's all copper.
Yeah, it's all like the
Yeah.
lowest possible.
He has to
He,
count
like,
it out.
He's
he
dropping like
feels
a
it, and he,
truckload
like-
of pennies.
He looks over at Skipper and he's like, "Count this, please."
Yeah, I want change if there's more than needed, by the way.
I'm
And
definitely
then
getting those
I can
impact
help
grenades.
you. I can help you get the cane and hold on to it in case we need to make those social rolls. If you want, Lily. I can give you 3 of the discount charges I earned.
Now, do keep in mind it's a print. Oh shit! I think I'm lagging out. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the first iteration of blueprints being in shops. Blueprints are permanent buffs to certain items you can get from shops, maybe in the world, but basically it improves every type of that item that you use. Like if
Ooh.
if Lily picked up the blueprint for superior impact grenades, all impact grenades they use from that point on have a buff.
Mm-hmm.
So something tells me we're gonna need impact grenades for something. We're gonna need.
Not
Bamboy, you're
necessarily.
killing me. That's pretty good.
I know.
But the whale, that's so cool.
Molly, how many resource charges do you have?
You can always sell bone
Uh,
charms if you're really strapped.
I don't
We have a
have
lot of
any to
extras.
sell. I don't have
Yeah.
any. If there's any extra to sell, definitely sell them. I don't have any extra to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using all my bone charms at the moment, so.
Honestly.
Did I get my allowance?
Oh yeah, you would have always.
Okay.
Ghost gives you 5 resource charges.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Guy's kit's not bad.
So in total, I got 6 because I got a lovely little tip
Yeah.
Nice.
from
So-
performing.
If you want, I'm willing to spot you for either the traditional bow or the bone charm. But you would have to put the rest of your resource charges towards it.
Well, technically speaking, with 6, I could get myself the blueprint for the bone. Not the
Bow.
bone. The bow. My bad.
Sorry, I'd be
Because I would
spotting
have.
them.
Yeah, it's just that I don't have any extra to spare for the bone
Right.
charm.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alright.
If someone's willing to spot
That's
me
up to
one
you.
charge, I can buy the disguise kit.
I'll do that. I'll give you one.
Then with that from Lily, I will spend the 3 discount charges I got from my roll to get the disguise kit. I feel like this could come in
Fantastic.
handy.
I'm going to spend 7 resource charges on the bone charm and 5 resource charges on the black blood serum, leaving me with 1 resource charge.
Wonderful.
Um,
As you examine the bone charm, you find it is a piece of jagged, twisted metal pulled off of a ship. It seems to have suffered some.
Nice.
So obviously, I'm going to take the impact grenades.
Mhm.
Like I'm obviously going to take that. And I spent the 1 for Littleman to get his disguise kit, and then because nobody else wants to grab it, I will grab the needlessly elaborate cane.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about it because the
Because
regal
like
would help.
it's a 2 resource charge return on investment. Like that's a pretty
Yeah.
good deal right there.
It's a pretty good deal.
And those resource charges don't expire either.
Yeah. So like I can just hold on to them as I need them,
Yeah,
which I
and
won't do. I'll probably have to spot
Regal.
using them to spot people.
Yeah, Regal could come in handy if we ever need to make a social roll to give us an extra mod to
I
potentially
already have
succeed.
Regal. It's part of my royal mask.
Yeah.
So it's just
Double
doubling up.
regal.
Maybe someone else has to roll it.
Imagine Volcan walking around with 2 canes, 1 in each hand, like the Gangster's Paradise.
My God.
That'd be
Con, what
fucking
happened?
hilarious.
Is your back hurting, old man?
Nah, I just got this drip, you know.
See, that's the danger with aging. Like things just start to go.
All right.
First, it's always the knees. I'm telling you.
When you go to like exchange the money and Ghost is handing you the slab of metal, Volcan, it just says, "This is not like every other bone charm that you've had the pleasure of interacting with. Even if you are familiar with the phenomenon of the natural bone charm, I assure you, this is of a particular origin. Suffice to say that this is very much something I wanted to keep, as it has some personal connection to me. But we've all made sacrifices for this great war we're drawn into, and I know that you all get into more combat than I do.
Well, thank you then, my friend.
He nods.
Alrighty. Now, one last thing. First off, Bamboy, with the first roll I made for Charmcraft, I created the first word, Lunar Stride, Whispers, and Sight Beyond.
Can you post all those in effects and tracking?
Yes. 2 of them are level 1, so they were really cheap, and the other
Mhm.
2 are a level 2 and level 3.
That's the power of Charmcraft, yo. Max level Charmcraft.
Should I put the bone charms in effects and tracking, or just send you what I made?
Either is fine. I need their
I'll
effects, like the whole effects of the bone charm, not just their names.
Okay. I'll send you, because these are all chosen from the pre-made list.
Mhm.
So I'll just send it to you. And then also, does anybody want a level 1 or need a level 1? Like they have a free
I
space for it.
probably would need one. Not
I
to
am-
exactly use, but I'm going to
I am-
use it in a way.
I'm full up.
Okay.
You could sell it right now, technically speaking.
Yeah. Get
I
some
thought
extra
about it, but
resource
something tells me
charges.
Bamboy would quickly shut my operation down.
You cannot sell bone charms you make. Are you fucking kidding me?
Unless it's permanent, but these aren't permanent.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't.
You do not want to make. You do not want to fuck the Spire Master Alcahest grave, the
Oh,
ghost
dude.
of Dunwall, in a deal.
No, yeah, you should not. You should not give him a fake one, dude.
Yeah.
That's how Achilles got himself in this situation.
Yeah.
Do my cantrip then. If no one else, I know what Lizz wants them for. So let me do a little
Mayhaps.
funny wunny. This is the
I need to
cantrip,
go grab.
so I can
I
only
need to
make basic bitch level 1s. All right. I'm just gonna read this real quick.
Yeah, and then we get
A
a.
creature can only use 1 charm from this feature at a time. So, Bamboy, how would you rule this?
What?
The level with the cantrip says a creature can only use 1 charm from this at a time. But can someone just hold on to them but not have them equipped? Does that count against that, or can they just hold on to it?
You specifically level 1 is to make a charm for someone else, right?
You sacrifice a maximum focus for the mission,
Mhm.
and you can make up to 2 normally, but my expertise lets me make 3 based off my successes. Regular level 1 bone charms that can't be cursed or ancient. And it says they can only use 1, so you can have it equipped 1 at a time. But can they hold on to multiple at once if they
Sure,
still
they can
have it
hold on to
equipped?
multiple. Yeah, I'll let them
Right.
attune to it instantly.
Oh, Bamboy. Last chapter. I never used the Volt Vial. I know it doesn't work anymore. Do we
Yeah.
still have the non-functioning device?
No, it explodes.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm gonna
Really?
give.
It's like holding on to sweating dynamite. Yeah, it's the reason why it doesn't work anymore is because it's too volatile to move.
Damn. Okay.
All right. So before I do this, I will ask: does anybody have a level 1 bone charm that they want to exchange for a different bone charm from the base list, or
I'm
is everyone good?
pretty much good.
I'm happy with mine, even my cursed one.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty happy with that.
All right. Then in that case, Molly, you are now the proud owner of 3 arcane batteries.
3 arcane batteries.
You can only equip 1 of them if you want to equip them. So 2 of them aren't going to function, but you can hold on to them because I know you're the only one who could get use out of them.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do with it, right?
Yes.
There's a possible chance. I'm just
I
saying
know.
it's an option. I could use it, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I'll have it But you
Yes.
know, it's not exactly being equipped, so I won't physically
Yeah,
write
you
that
won't
down
equip
in my.
them, but you
Yeah,
can use them for the feature I know you want to use them for if you have to use it.
yeah. I will gladly take one of these.
You
Yes,
can just
like
have all of
you
them.
already.
I'm full up.
How many can I carry? Or how many
Here you go,
giving me?
3. I
3?
mean, I managed to make 3. These aren't like so like if I want to make them real, you got to usually sacrifice something to make like a charm last indefinitely. But like I found a little workaround, so it'll last you a little like long enough, and then by the time it's gone, I can just make another one to replace it. So you can just hold on to all 3 of these. I just dump them in your hand.
Okay. She
Yeah,
grabbed
I already
them.
checked the others. They say they're good.
Okay. Let's see. Can I carry
Bamboy.
that many? I can. I think. Oh no.
You can't equip them if you don't have the slots, but you can just hold them in your inventory.
Okay.
Now, finally, the last thing to get out of the way that I've been thinking on. So for my level 5 Charmcraft, I took the expertise Karmic Enchantment, which lets me double the effect of a bone charm one bone charm I touch at the start of a mission, but it gets a curse of equivalent value.
Yeah.
Bamboy.
Mhm.
Can I want to touch the first word. What would the curse be of equivalent value?
It would be a really brutal curse. The first word is an ancient level 3, right?
Yes, I fully expect it to
So
be
crazy.
brutal.
It's so fucking crazy you can make an ancient level 3. Like I've been drip feeding you, right? Like in this fucking chapter, I put like bone charms. I realize now how fucking obsolete they are.
Nah,
It would
I can
be
copy down
let me think.
anything that's not natural and plagiarize it in the future.
Yeah, that is important. It would go to +4 automatic successes. Holy fucking shit.
It would be pretty
I
crazy, but
would
I do expect the curse to fuck me hard. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
it would
asking.
have to. Have to be something really, really like mechanical. That would be too much. I couldn't. I mean, what's your willpower?
7 maximum. And then we have a temp one from Lizz's amazing performance earlier.
It would reduce your max willpower by 3.
Can you
You know,
hear
if you
the
have a
movement?
+4 modifier, really
that
easy
is a
to roll.
pretty fair curse.
Did
It has
we
to be something
ever
really crunchy and mechanical. Sorry, what?
like rest to get our HP back?
Yeah, totally. You have plenty of time to.
Okay. Okay, I gotta double check before going into this fucking area.
No.
I'm over here with
And don't
7
forget your
health.
max HP is up by 1.
Mhm.
Due to home
Huh.
base.
The home base has like a hospital portion of it now that I failed to describe,
Yeah.
and because of that, you can get a beautiful routine of vitamins and the dietary supplements and great healthcare and a fucking IV drip of Sokolov's health elixir.
And
Oh
genetic
my god.
modifications to
I
give
have
you free dark
healthcare?
vision.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I guess gene modding. I don't know, little man.
It gives you
think-
free dark vision. I mean, there's probably some experimental shit back there.
Sure, it gives you a fucking cat eye formula. But yeah, everyone gets dark vision as a
Yeah.
minor power and a +1 maximum HP.
Now, I
Oh,
will ask
girl.
5 specifically. Are you okay with losing 3 max willpower at some point during the mission?
You
What
you
the
want to
hell?
give this to him?
No, but reason I'm trying to double first word is because Charmcraft's main concentration is Charm Link, and I could give 5 the benefits of a single level 3 Bone Charm I have equipped. So I could give
How
him
lo-
the first word, but he'd also suffer the curse.
How long would I be suffering the curse for?
Well, it's a concentration effect that lasts a scene, I think. It's like a buff where I just give you we link, and then you get the
Mhm.
benefits of a charm I have equipped.
You don't get the willpower back. You get the maximum willpower back, but I will take 3 willpower from you when you touch it. Like when you
But
get
it
the
will give
effects,
you a
and then when it
+4 mod
ends,
to your power to your petrification
Yeah.
rolls.
it's kind of insane.
That is crazy. However, I don't really need it.
Fair enough. I needed the check. In
Yeah,
that
like,
case,
I can't even.
You still
use
want to?
it.
in that case, I want to double the lunar
Lunar Stride.
stride
Okay.
instead.
Uh,
But I don't need that much power mod.
oh, there's two things I want to do. There's one that's mechanical and one that's really fucking funny.
I'll take whatever you deem a reasonable curse.
I really want to give you 0 gravity and just watch you fly into the air.
If you could find out how that works, dude, I'd be down.
Yeah, I can't. What I want to do mechanically is you can't block, right? Because like you have a great dodge, you just can't block.
That's fair.
I don't even think that would fuck you too hard, but just having you float right without grounding you might just take away from everything that we try to do. It might just be too obnoxious.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to.
If he can help. I mean, if he does have to block, he's fucked.
Yeah, like if you already can't block. So like telling you can't is like, oh no, I can't roll my 4 dice.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. For a +4 modifier to dodge, you get a -3 modifier to soak.
That's fair.
Glass
I'll take
cannon.
that.
Fantastic.
And that way, if I need to link with someone to potentially give them an insane dodge mod so they don't take damage at all, I'll have that as a nice thing to do as an option.
Mhm.
Then that's what I'll do for this mission.
Bamboy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the drowned whale. I'm gonna hand it to Molly. What
No way.
Ugal?
Wait, really?
Well, yeah, you were looking at it, and honestly, there's not much here I need.
She takes it. Oh my god, thank you. I really wanted it, but you know, kinda broke.
No problem. Yeah, don't forget to like write that down.
Yeah, fuck yeah, thank you.
No problem.
I have a
One
pet well,
day-
you guys.
Yeah. One day, Molly, I will
Fantastic.
learn how to plagiarize the fuck out of that, and you'll have 3 of them equipped at once.
You cannot
Yes!
have 3 fucking whalers.
I will.
It's
be
actually
very
we
funny.
could only have
I
2.
can, yeah, I will
We
get
could
a
only have
personal
2
upgrade where I can make natural bone charms, and I will copy the fuck out of that.
This is a big time reference piece, and it might be kind of impossible to explain in character. The Knife of Dunwall, Dowd, one of his signature powers was the ability to summon his whalers just at a whim, and they would fight with him. And this is a piece of a burned and sunken ship. It's a
Oh,
natural bone charm that was made when the Knife of Dunwall passed from this earth, and in a burning ship that would rest at the ocean floor for something like 10 years.
dang dog.
God damn.
Then, with that, they would be landing at the shore of Circonos, Karnaka specifically. Grand Guard, as I said, Blue, they are there to meet you. You are an honored guest. I am super fucking excited for what comes next, but we've been going on for 4 hours. I think I have to call
true.
it quits here.
It would be a good
So
place.
it's also a really good time. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited for what comes next. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get to it, but everything that happened here was super fucking fun. Didn't
Yeah.
expect this all to be a session. So as we see the brigade and some of their key allies leave with them onto the docks of Circonos, there is an over dramatic like royal entrance with actual fucking trumpet players, which is a stark difference to how you were welcomed in Morlaix.
Yeah.
But some of the people that don't know who you are still clapping. Some people who do are clapping as well. There is a small contingency of very ornate guards led by a high officer as well. They've busted out proper soldiers to bring you in, and he would simply bow with like a sword drawn, like a very ceremonial officer's bow, and then holster the saber, and he would say, "Welcome to Serkonos," and he gestures towards the island where we can hear a large like dinosaur screech as the fucking Jurassic Park intro clicks
Okay.
on.
The Jurassic Park theme played on a recorder, just playing
Yeah.
out the scene.
And that is
Har-
where we end.
Yeah. I like to imagine as like the Jurassic Park theme play, like the camera looks at Charles, who was like ready to sneak around, and then he gets this fucking royal entrance. He's like, fuck.
Very, very good session, fellas. Very good session. I will end the bot here as soon as I can navigate to the channel to do so. Thank you very much for watching our episode of In the Empire, Dishonored TTRPG. Come back next time for more.